Australia's intel chief says that country has broken up a spy ring that's been operating in Australia for years.
The danger to Australia from highly trained foreign spies is at an all-time high, according to Mike Burgess. He said the intelligence agencies were busier than during the Cold War, the aftermath of the 9/11 terrorist attacks and the height of the Islamic State militant group. Mr. Burgess said the threat level had increased since Australia signed a security agreement with the United States and Britain. A so-called hive of spies was uncovered in the past year. The countries responsible for the espionage plots have not been publicly identified.
The BBC's Phil Mercer. Poland and Westinghouse signing a deal for pre-design cooperation on the Central European nation's first nuclear power plant using the American company's technology. Townhall.com. A shorter work week seems like a good idea to a lot of British workers and their employers.
A trial of a 4-day work week in Britain, billed as the world's largest, has found that most employees are less stressed, burned out, and have better work-life balance. Findings from the University of Cambridge, Boston College, and other researchers released this week show that most of the 61 companies that participated from June to December will keep going with the shorter hours. They say revenue largely stayed the same over the trial period, and even grew compared with the same 6 months a year earlier. Employees have reported more job satisfaction, better sleep, and improved mental health. Keith Peters reporting.
From coast to coast, forecasters say the northern reaches of the country will feel the impact of a massive winter storm. In fact, some places already getting slammed with a lot of snow and a generous layer of ice. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, middle of the week. Yeah. And to quote the great Samuel Jackson's character in the original Jurassic Park, hold on to your butts. Today's the day we got a win situation.
Yeah, I did my hair today, but I brought a hat also because I'm playing for both contingencies.
Yeah,
it's not going to stay like this.
Yeah, today's. I mean, all kidding aside, they say that if you're out in like the plains and places, this is a dangerous day here. Yeah. I mean, they're talking serious winds and things, so. Gonna be a rough one today. Yep. Bat down the hatches. I'll get you all the information, but we do have a high wind warning that officially will be in effect here at 8 o'clock. But and it's actually calm right now. Although I can see the trees already starting to whip up a little bit. But we do have the high wind warning today. They're talking patchy blowing dust this morning. Winds, we're talking 15 to 25 this morning. 35 to 45, gusting as high as 65 miles per hour later today. So be warned. Be careful out there.
Yep.
I'm wondering if we're going to see, I don't know what sports schedules, usually Wednesdays are pretty light days.
Today I don't think we have anything scheduled sports-wise.
Yeah, but maybe some JV or something. But
possibly.
I'm wondering if, because of high, because this is the kind of weather they warn you about, high profile vehicles and things like that. Like buses.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm wondering if they're going to see some assessments on some of this stuff. So just be on the lookout for that kind of stuff today, because I got a feeling we're going to.
It's only in places like New Mexico where you get those calls. It's like, yeah, we're going to shut down because of the wind.
Although I feel like it's been a while that we've shut down things.
Yeah, it's been a quick minute.
I mean, other than like last week or whatever, but you know what I mean. It's season wise,
right?
So.
Usually it's that couple of weeks before / into spring here in New Mexico that we start getting the real big winds. I'm going to say March. I'm going to say March, April. We're going to start really having to batten down them hatches.
Well, that's typically wind season, right? Is when we get that time frame. The fact that we're in February, you're already feeling it. I'm like,
I know.
Yeah. Maybe it'll come in early and leave early.
It's kind of like when you start getting like summery conditions in like April. You're like, it's gonna be really hot this summer. It's gonna be like 120 degree summer. But it's one of those. It's.
But we also had those times where we thought that, and then it's hot that early month. But then when we actually get into the season,
it's like normal.
It's like, hey, it's kind of moist actually, or
right?
We got more rain or less heat than I anticipated. So. Who knows? Maybe this just means we'll get all the wind out of the way now, and then by April time frame, we're just sitting in hot. I don't know. We'll see. Right in time for golf season.
Yeah.
When all the golf tournaments start right around March and April here.
Just time to blow your balls off course.
There you go. Although I think, like, the golfers here know that, so they play the wind in their game.
Yeah.
Like it's a
they
factor.
plan for that as a contingency.
Home court advantage, if you will. I think maybe there's... the dogleg left is like, today, not going to happen. But tomorrow, we're going to curve it right around this sucker.
Get a lot of golfers doing this thing. Lick the finger and check the wind direction.
I wonder when we're going to get to the point where, because we have trackers and everything, like where they're just going to start selling smart golf balls. And they may already be out, and I don't even know about it, but where you can like get data while you're hitting the ball on.
Oh, I'd imagine that's got to already.
And like it goes to on an app on your phone.
Yeah, this ball went this far.
Well, I'm just even wondering like the spin and all that, and it gauges your swing. But not only that, wind conditions and all that. So now you're looking. All right, the air is at this, and so therefore I need to hit at this angle, or you know what I mean.
Each ball cost $89.95.
Sure.
Well, all this technology.
I'm guessing they'd be illegal for like PGA play.
Oh, sure.
But
for practice, yeah.
The guy whacking around at the golf course.
You'll learn a thing or two about your swing and about how you do things.
Certainly, I've seen more ridiculous golf aids like Tin Cup, for instance. You ever watch the movie Tin Cup where he's sitting there with all the robotic stuff on his hands? By the way, pound for pound, one of my favorite golf movies of all time.
Really?
Tin Cup.
Kevin Costner, right? I don't know that I've ever actually seen it.
I love Tin Cup. It's a good movie. It's Kevin Costner, Don Johnson. What is her name? She was in a lot of movies in the 90s. Oh, what is her name? I can't remember her name, but she plays the love interest. Renee.
It was Renee Zellweger?
No. I want to say Renee,
Russo?
though. Russo. Thank you. Renee Russo. That's who it was.
It was one of those movies that was like, it came out when I was a kid, and it's a very like adult movie.
Cheech Marin's in it, too. Yeah, it's a fun movie. Cheech Marin's his caddy. It's a fun movie. I think you'd like it.
I'd have to go back and check it out.
It's very Texas-y because they're in Texas. And they're, it's a lot of guy who's was at the top, but kind of a disheveled drunk now that's a pro at a golf course that's kind of a dump in Texas, and he's going to get back on the tour, but I guess he was him and Don Johnson were like big college level players, and then Kevin Costner's character choked in the big thing, and and then of course Don Johnson went on to be the next, Jack Nicklaus type guy, on the PGA. So.
It's funny you mentioned Cheech. I actually ended up watching half of a movie last night. I haven't finished it yet, but Cheech is in it. It's called Shotgun Wedding.
I've seen the commercial for that.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
it's got Jennifer Coolidge in it.
Okay.
And,
what service is that on?
I can't remember. I was over.
I remember seeing a commercial for it.
I caught the first half of it on. I was over at Misty's. And
but it's
Will's
not like
night.
on Netflix or something.
I think it's on Paramount.
Is it Paramount? Okay.
I'm not sure exactly. Let's see.
Because I remember seeing commercials for it. And there's other famous people in it, too.
It's on Amazon.
Amazon.
It's on Amazon, yeah.
There's other famous people in it, too, right?
Yeah. let's see.
But I remember I was like, oh yeah,
Josh Duhamel is the main love interest.
Oh, that's
Jennifer
right.
Coolidge is in it. Lenny Kravitz is in it. Lenny Kravitz actually plays a guy named Sean, which is pretty funny.
J-Lo's in it too, right?
Yeah, J-Lo's the main love.
Okay.
The main love interest.
Okay. I've seen the commercials for that. I've not watched it. It's good?
It was really funny.
My wife and I talked about seeing it. We just never got around to it.
I ended up having to take off before, getting to see the back half of it. But I left like right when it was getting good, which was really upsetting.
I got to be honest. It's the rest of the cast, not J-Lo, that's selling me on it. Because typically...
Well, yeah, Jennifer Coolidge, anything she's in, she is hysterical. And in this movie, too, she's so funny.
And Josh Duhamel's dreamy. I don't care what anybody says.
Right. There's something about him.
He's dreamy.
It is funny though, because when you put somebody who's dreamy like a Josh Duhamel, and you set him up alongside a Lenny Kravitz, Josh Duhamel kind of loses a couple of cool points.
I don't know. All them young men watch that TV show Vegas in the 90s for all the cute actresses.
Right.
Josh Duhamel.
Sure. Lenny Kravitz just exudes something. I don't know. He just exudes
Just saying. And James Caan was in that show.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're up against James Caan and you're the hot one. That's saying something. That is impressive.
All right, let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to replay an interview this hour. Downtown Roswell with the Eastern New Mexico University Roswell joined us yesterday, talking about some upcoming events. So we'll play that for you in just a little bit. In the 8 o'clock hour at 8:15, Big Brothers Big Sisters for Southeast New Mexico is scheduled to join us. So if they make it in, we'll get an update from them. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to have the folks from American Legion Post 61 family join us, Jan and Lee, talking about, of course, we have this Sunday, the Four Chaplain ceremony, which I've talked a little bit about on this show and talk about. Plus, we're also going to have artist Greg Birch with them as well. And Greg is a local artist, and he's actually is commissioned the right term? Commissioned a painting?
Yeah.
He painted a painting.
Yeah. He was commissioned to do it.
I don't think he was commissioned. He did it on his own. So I'm going to say he just painted a painting.
Okay.
He painted a painting, and
he did a thing.
It's a real cool painting, and he wants to donate it into the veterans to help that. And so, so we'll talk all about that when we in the 9 o'clock hour with the American Legion folks here. So
nice.
That's what's on tap. Yeah, I think if like the American Legion went to him and said, "I need a painting," then you commissioned him.
That's a commission, yeah.
He just painted it. So, and then said, "I want to do something nice for people," and that's what he did. So
nice,
cool. So we'll talk about that in the 9 o'clock hour. Plus, we'll have all of your hourly features that include the news of the local and national variety, along with your Wall Street business updates and whatever else we can come up with. And of course, the weather to tell you how windy it's going to be.
It's already started.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it a-blowing.
Whipping through the weed trees.
Storm's coming, you know. All right, it is 16 minutes after 7. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Very gusty wind today with a strong low moving to our north. We could get a few gusts as high as 65 miles per hour. Watch out for blowing dust. We'll have sunshine, our high this afternoon in the low 60s. Clear and very windy for the overnight hours, our low in the mid 30s, and then not as windy on Thursday. A little bit breezy, sunny, and about 65, near 70 and sunny Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 47 degrees here in Roswell. They use the term fair and breezy. That's fair and breezy. Humidity is at 56%. Winds currently out of the south at 22 miles per hour. As I'd mentioned a few minutes ago, high wind warning will kick in at 8 a.m. this morning officially, remaining in effect through 2 o'clock Thursday morning. We are expecting patchy blowing dust really starting up here after 8 this morning, so in about an hour. Sunny and 62, so cooler than yesterday, but still not too bad. Winds, that's the problem. Southwest winds 15 to 25 this morning. This afternoon increasing 35 to 45, gusting as high as 65 miles per hour. Tonight, expect areas of blowing dust before 11 p.m., mostly clear after that or during that. Overnight low of 36. Windy with southwest winds 20 to 30. They could gust as high as 45 miles per hour tonight. After midnight tonight, those winds will drop down 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, Thursday, sunny skies, 65 for a high. Southwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Much better than today. Tomorrow night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 36 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10. Friday, mostly sunny. Highs back near 70, 69 officially. Winds will be out of the south at around 10 miles per hour. And then for the weekend, mostly cloudy. Highs near 70 for Saturday. Another windy day on Sunday. Areas of blowing dust after 11. Otherwise, mostly sunny and windy with a high of 72. So be careful out there, everybody, and just, try to avoid doing things outside later today. All right, it is 7:18. We're going to take a quick 2.5-minute commercial break, and then on the other side, we're going to play our interview with Donna Oracion from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Heart disease is one of the leading causes of death in New Mexico, but it's preventable. If you have high blood pressure or cholesterol, are overweight, smoke, or have other risk factors, it's time to talk to a cardiologist. The cardiology team at Artesia General Hospital has the experience and latest diagnostic technologies to help you identify your risk factors and diagnose and treat any heart health concerns you might face. One beat at a time, we're here for every heart. Request your cardiology appointment today at artesiageneral.com/heart.
What's up, my fellow Americans? It's your boy, POTUS numero uno, George Washington. You know how I feel about lies, right? Not a fan. Well, you can get a great deal right now during the President's Day sale at Roswell Nissan with access to over 300 pre-owned vehicles, quality pre-owned trucks under $30K, and $10,000 off all new Nissan Titans when financed through Nissan. These are the lowest prices of the year. No cap, as the kids say. Come save a bunch of Washingtons during the President's Day sale. On now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd, or shop online at roswellnissan.com. Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. That's 800-503-3735.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, Donna Oracion back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Doing okay. We had a day off yesterday, so this is like a Monday.
So it's like a Monday, so all the students and staff are a little bleary-eyed getting in.
A little groggy, a little bleary-eyed.
Maybe
cloudy day.
I'm guessing the cafeteria probably sold a few more pots of coffee this morning than maybe
hopefully they
other days.
stocked up on extra caffeine this morning.
Especially if it's windy and everything.
Yeah,
you know. But
I know.
Although if you get out there this morning before the winds, it might be nice to sit out in the campus.
Actually, pretty nice outside. It's not bad if the wind wouldn't blow.
But if you got study or work plans on the campus, maybe do it indoors this afternoon. So but
this is true.
You guys are kind of fully settled into the spring semester now, and kids
we're
are
over 2,000 students.
Yeah,
so
I say
got
kids,
a lot of
but students.
Kids,
they're
Summer
all
kids.
Getting into their classes and kind of settling into their grooves and things here. So.
Yeah, and we keep adding things and changing things. You know, we've got our student lounge that's being furnished and will be ready to open fairly soon. I think by the end of this month.
Very good.
So we've got a pool table in there. We're getting a piano in there.
Oh, piano! Wow, good. Class up the place.
Yeah,
huh?
really classy. Plus some jazz nights.
Right, we can do dueling pianos.
Dueling piano. We need 2 of those.
We'll work on the board for a second
do those
piano.
Computer pianos that you can do.
Yeah.
But video gaming and things like that we can do in there. Or we've got our veteran center, our food pantry.
Just a place to get away from schoolwork for a minute if you're kind of.
Yep.
We got to unplug for a minute and take care of you, and then get back to studying. Or if you're looking to kill an hour between classes, and you can go in there and hang out, and
Yes, we're really looking forward to getting that space open. Our career center is doing a lot of workshops. They've got a couple coming up in March on resume and cover letter creation and learning to budget.
Good deal.
They've done social media branding. They've done headshots.
Take advantage of all that.
There's so many things that are kind of these extras that kind of enhance your learning experience on campus.
And
We're
to be
really
honest,
excited
this
about
is some
that.
of the things that when you get out on your own, you have to pay a lot of money for.
You do, or go online and do a lot of research.
Sure, a lot of
look
extra
at
work.
templates and
And it's kind of like it's like technically it's not what's needed to land the job, but technically it is because it's your calling card, your signature, your presentation to a potential employer, and we all know that can get expensive. Creating your professional, depending on careers and things, professional headshots and all.
Right.
That's a lot of money. So if you can get it for free or very cheap, take advantage of that.
And it just gives you that extra edge that will put you ahead of somebody else.
Maybe that other person is fresh out of college like you are and didn't have the advantage of having some of that stuff, and that might be the difference between you getting that job and or the other person getting that job.
Exactly. So
take advantage of all this stuff. That's what's there for.
So we've got so many additional resources that students that can utilize, and we're really excited to see all of that going on. We've also got our foundation golf tournament coming up, so we're actively planning that and seeking sponsors.
This is really the biggest fundraising event for the foundation and for scholarships is the golf course, the golf tournament.
Yes.
And I know it's kind of flip-flop, spring, fall, and stuff over the years, but it is the one event that the EMUR board puts together, the foundation here, and this money is pretty much all earmarked for scholarships for students. So when you hear these great stories of these students at Ernie's, it's because you guys went out and whacked a golf ball around on a Saturday and ate some food and had a good time. So we're asking you to come out and do that again.
Yeah, we'll do that again. So this will be our 20th annual. We've been doing this for 20 years.
So they're pretty good at this point. They got a system.
Yes, we've got it down pretty good by now. It's Saturday, April 8th at Edmond Golf Course. It's a morning tournament, so shotgun start is at 8. So we do.
So it
have
won't be 95 by then. It'll be nice.
It's nice and cool.
Usually by April it'll be good. 90.
We're really one of the first big tournaments that
you kind of kick off the
golf
season.
The golf tournament season. So of course it's a 4-person scramble. $400 per team, $100 per player. We have corporate sponsorships for $600, whole sponsorships $150, and event sponsors for $1,500.
And they'd like to get those locked down now, not in April when it's closer
and
to the event.
those that are associated with the team, of course, they get priority. So we put teams that just are playing without a sponsor on a waiting list, just because we have a limited number of teams we can accept at the course, mainly because of the number of golf carts that can play.
The
all
resources
at once.
available at the course. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
and my golf course staff is so good to us. They're great. Very professional. They know what they're doing.
It's a great event. It's a lot of fun.
Time.
I hear every year, when people talk, because you have your circuit goers that kind of go to the, they're avid golfers and they're golfing every weekend. So they usually, when each great organization's having their tournaments, they're already in there because they're going to be golfing anyway.
Right.
So awesome. That's great that you get to also support these extra things in the community. But there's a bevy of those people, and every time I always hear, good things and how much they love the ENMUR tournament, just because the amenities, the swag, the things, the extras.
We've got really good food. We have really good breakfast burritos, and we've in the past had a really good lunch. Chicken.
If you leave hungry from an ENMUR golf tournament, it's because you're dieting or you just were so zoned in on golf that I don't know what you were doing. Just trip over food out.
Right. We've got some good sponsors already. We always get some really nice prizes that we give away. We do a lot of drawings.
Yeah.
So we're doing just closest to the pin prizes this year, not longest drive, because we know that does limit. Not everybody can make a really long drive. So we decided to
Go
take
for
that out and just
accuracy rather than
right,
distance.
Just do. I think we're doing 2 closest to the pin prizes.
Very
so,
good. So you might be the lucky one that does that.
So
win some extra stuff here.
Yeah. So if you're interested, we have information on our website, or you can call Craig Collins, 624-7304, or just go on to roswell.enmu.edu, and you'll see our golf flyer.
Okay. If people are out at the pro shop at NIMI,
they also
they can sign up there.
As
talk
well.
to the pro there, and they'll get you in. Because at the end of the day, I think he's the person that kind of puts the teams together and
they do, and
makes
they know
the rules and all that.
They know the golfers, and they know the teams
the
that usually
handicaps
play,
and all that stuff.
Handicaps and all of that. Handicap team total of 40, things like that. So again, we're really excited. That's April 8th, and that is Easter weekend. So that's the Saturday before Easter.
All right, so you got Saturday on the course.
That may be good or may be bad, but a lot of people say, "Oh, I just want to get away from my family on the Saturday." So
so you can spend Sunday,
And Easter's open. Easter's free to do whatever you like.
There you go.
So we're really looking forward to having that.
Absolutely. So that's a weekend of eating if you play your cards right, because Easter dinner is always a big deal.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on Easter.
And then you're going to be eating you're going to have to golf just to work some of the calories.
Right. Maybe we'll give away some chocolate bunnies. Who
there
knows?
you go.
Something like that.
Yeah, give them away early, because I know by noon those things will melt. But
they might melt. That would not be good.
Yeah.
But as you said, that this does raise money for scholarships, and the foundation gives away over $40,000 in scholarships every semester.
And it's all thanks to everyone participating in this tournament.
So all of our, the funds that we raise, we have really good investment policy with our foundation board. They really make sure we manage our money well. And all of our name scholarships, all of our memorial scholarships that we give away every semester are just, again, very well managed. John Hitchcock is our treasurer, and he does a great job with our investment committee, making sure that the funds we do raise and the funds we hold with the foundation they will keep us going for a long time.
And it's really great, because then you see the students that receive these, and every one of them, you go and you hear their stories and you hear the struggles and things they go through.
Right.
And this is really, for some of these folks, that difference between succeeding and being stuck in the rut of what they were doing before, or whatever was going on in life. And now they've got, because you decide to go and eat burritos and play golf, these students now have a future that basically the sky's the limit for them. They take it where they want to go, and that's a powerful thing. And so to be able to do that at a local level at this way, you're really impacting people. I know I'm getting a little hokey and cheesy here, but by you just participating in these golf tournaments, it's a huge asset to making our community better. Because let's face it, some of these students are the ones that end up being our business owners, our next city councilors.
Stay local. They're part of our workforce.
These are folks that are community leaders, that next generation. And by you hanging out with your buddies playing golf on a Saturday, Easter Saturday, is really setting the table for that.
Yes.
So please. And you know what? If you've got a spouse that's kind of getting on to you about golfing, say, I'm doing it for the community.
Doing it for the community. So I'll get to that. I'll get to that honey-do list later, honey. That's right. And our foundation does support so many other things too for our campus. Anytime a student club needs some additional funds, or some equipment needs, or faculty needs, there are a lot of extras that our foundation supports.
Absolutely.
And so it's a really good resource to have for our college that are unrestricted funds, because our state funding is very restricted.
Sure,
there's
it's earmarked
only so much we can do with that.
Yeah.
But our foundation funding allows us to do a lot of extra things.
Sure.
And one of those additional things is coming up on Thursday. That is our reception that we're having for our new chancellor, Dr. James Johnston.
Oh, we're going to welcome the new chancellor.
We're going to welcome him to Roswell officially. He started January 1, but with the legislature and everything going, he's been pretty busy.
Kind of had a chance to come and hang out on the campus yet. So
we're really excited to have him be in Roswell, he and his wife, Stephanie. And
Very good.
That
Where are they from originally? Do you know?
Well, she is from Las Cruces.
Okay,
area.
so there is a hometown
There is
New
a
Mexico
hometown.
connection there.
And
okay.
I don't remember where he's from, but he was most recently in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Okay. So he spent time in the Southwest,
yes,
too, here.
Yeah, so they're really excited to be in Portales and be chancellor of our system with our 3 campuses in Roswell, Ruidoso, and Portales. So we really haven't officially welcomed him, so he will be at the Anderson Museum on Thursday. It's from 5 to 7, and the community is invited.
Okay,
to
so come out and come.
We'll have some nice hors d'oeuvres and
nice little light
things like
refreshments,
that.
reception,
Yes,
and come meet the new
reception.
chancellor and his family and get a chance to talk. And of course, if you're always, it's a great opportunity to kind of mingle and talk with the kind of the staff and things at the Eastern New Mexico
and
University
if
Roswell.
there's something in particular that you want the chancellor to know about Roswell,
Sure.
or I know he's got a great vision for our system and is looking to create some more efficiencies and some new opportunities and have some innovative programs and services. So
I think
really
events like
excited
this also
to have
set
that
the
new
table
leadership.
for like business partnerships between, obviously, the Eastern, and I don't care if it's the Roswell campus or the Portales campus, Ruidoso, wherever. The goal of each of these campuses is to serve the needs of the communities which they reside in.
Right.
That also means, feeding and attending to the needs of businesses and things. So if businesses come in and say, I'm a whatever engineering business, we need more people qualified here, and they come talk to the college about those programs and training and partnerships, and that's how those start. We talk about like the great partnership you have with Crumlin and what was used there. These things start at a cocktail or a welcome reception.
Just an idea or
that's how these things happen. So please come out, meet the new chancellor, and and like I said, if you have some of these opportunities, that's how you started on the process. You go there, and then and then if they like it, then they talk to people like Don and say, let's make this happen.
Let's make it happen. Right, and it's true partnership, and that's what a community college is all about, is really partnering with the community to create opportunities and programs for our students and our workforce. So we're really looking forward to having some new leadership and what that's going to bring us. And with the legislature continuing, we have a lot of opportunities and funding that will be coming through the legislature this session.
And to be honest, now that we're in the second month,
right, kind of
things are going to get a little more fast and
Yes.
furious. Actual legislation, you're starting to see votes and passes.
Yes.
It's not all getting your ducks in a row like they kind of been doing, each side's been doing for the last 30 days.
Right, they've got to get some bills passed and some things done.
So it's going to get fast and furious this next 30 days, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I know our president, Dr. Powell, has been making many trips back and forth to Santa Fe the past few weeks, and will continue to do so.
Yeah, I think he's got a standing room up there.
He has a standing room up there, and he's attending a lot of hearings. He's speaking in front of higher ed officials and legislators and legislators and Dr. Johnston as well, and Ryan Trosper and Ruidoso campus. So
these are the folks that are telling our legislators what's going on here and talking about our needs and from the education level. And so they're taking valuable information to the people that are making decisions for it.
Yes,
so I hope they listen.
So they're very busy this time of year as well. So we're really excited to have Dr. Johnston take some time to visit Roswell and meet some of our community and meet some of our staff. And I know on campus there's a work session for the College Board prior to the reception, so he'll be meeting with the College Board.
Okay.
And then
so it's not all play; it's a little board.
He has some other duties, and then on Friday there's a campus meeting where he'll meet some more of our staff on campus.
Great. So he's going to spend a couple days kind of seeing everything.
Yeah. So it'll
seeing
be nice.
how the campus. Well, good. Well, we look forward to that, and who knows? Maybe you might meet him at one of our restaurants or something those couple days he's here. You never know.
Get to see what Roswell's about.
I'm sure there's a couple places like, all
right.
right, Chancellor, we got to bring you over here to get you a green chili fix or whatever.
Right.
So, of course, they'll have plenty of opportunities in Portales to eat green chili.
Oh yes, I'm sure they're getting.
And his
well
wife's
fed.
from Cruces, so I'm sure he's very familiar.
Yes, for sure.
Good deal. What else do we want to promote?
So also, we just wanted to mention we are doing another senior day. We've called it Explore Eastern over the years.
And
Different
this is
events.
high school seniors.
High school seniors, yeah.
Now, seniors are more than
citizens.
welcome to come and tour the campus, but this is for high school
This
seniors.
is for high school seniors who are still oftentimes debating which college to attend and not sure
or to go to college
or where to go.
what they're going to do. Yeah.
Right. So it's April 6th And so that's right before our golf tournament. So that's, again, a morning event. So you can sign up with your high school counselor.
I think every high school counselor in Chaves County is on their radar, and you can
Yes.
sign up through them.
And we have
private
lunch,
schools, too, I'm guessing,
yes,
as well. We
and
can
lunch
set
and
up.
transportation is provided so that if they want to get to the campus, they can hop on the bus for that. And so, again, it's kind of a nice, busy morning. They can see what classes we have, our facilities, meet instructors, staff,
and
a lot of giveaways as well.
And I would offer to high school seniors, even if you've kind of got your mind made up, come anyway. Because and this is what I'm saying. This is why I'm saying this. I get it. There's a sect of kids, and sure, you have your dreams, and you're like, I'm going to Harvard one day. I'm going to, awesome. Good goal. Great thing to do. But it's kind of hard to get into Harvard. It's kind of hard to get, and even if you get in, it's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing: is see what's in your own backyard. See what's actually here. You might find out you can do all of your goal or a good portion of your goal a tenth of the price, and right here at home with your connections, your amenities, your family, your support system, all right here.
Yes.
So I don't care if you've already set in stone that I'm going to College X. Come see the campus. Maybe we could say, you know what? Let's put College X on hold for a couple years. Let's get everything done here, and then you're going to be that much better prepared for College X in a year or two when you go, because now you've kind of, rather than go, and here's another thing, it's a whole different world of learning from high school to a Harvard or a major large college. Student class size, you turn in from an individual to a number of 300 or more sometimes, depending on the class.
Right.
None of that exists at Eastern New Mexico University Roswell on any of the campuses. You've got class sizes very similar to what you dealt with in high school. Your availability to your professors and staff and all that are as the same or similar. You know what I mean? It's not a complicated process.
Right.
And so it's those kind of variables that turn success to failure sometimes. So for you to learn and to kind of, I hate to say it this way, but kind of grow up to be a little bit more mature. That way you can learn it on a much cheaper, much more forgiving environment than a place that is cutthroat.
Right.
And so that's what I'm not saying go for it. God bless you. That's an amazing thing. But prepare yourself, and maybe Easter can help you do that.
Yeah, we provide such a great foundation for students that are out of high school straight into college. So it's just a nice transition to take classes with us. And then, of course, we have so many opportunities. The Presidential Scholarship is available. If you're in the top 10% of your class, you can have basically a free ride and get everything covered for your 2-year associate degree. And again, that's just a great start.
Absolutely.
To then you can transfer to whatever college or university you want. Or if you just want to start a career right away, you can take a 1-year program, 2-year program, whether it's in tech ed or health, and go straight into the workforce. So we have so many options, and I think we do open a lot of eyes when our seniors come to our campus, if they've never been, and just kind of get an inside look at what the campus is all about. They may have driven by or been to the Performing Arts Center for a play or to an event. They really don't see what our campus has to offer. And once they see the equipment we have, the
labs
we have, they're like, wow, I didn't realize all this was here.
Yeah.
And they talk to their fellow
That's when it
students.
stops looking like high school.
And they say, wow, this is really a great place to start. So we really kind of hope that they do attend again, whether they've already decided or not.
Absolutely.
But it's a great chance to just get an inside behind the curtain view.
And not to mention,
all about.
because I know some folks, and parents, I get it, all that, but some students are pursuing parents' dreams and not their own dreams, and that never works out right, as far as I'm concerned. And if you're not sure, if you're like, I want to pursue something, I just don't know. Don't want to be an engineer. Don't want to be a doctor. Don't want to be. Go to college now. Yeah. English, math, these are things that no matter what your degree plan is, you need these under your belt. Get all of that out of the way, and then maybe let the career find you. You come there and you're like, well, I'm just hearing about the nursing program or the welding program or the drone program or aircraft maintenance. And I'm like, that's where I want to go with it. Or, I want to be a lawyer now. But I've got all my basics set now. I can start, pursuing the actual law class. Yeah. I mean, but either way, even if you're kind of like, you want to go in a direction, but not exactly where, let Eastern kind of help you find that niche a little bit too.
Right. And so we hope that, parents that are listening can really, if their son or daughter is going, oh, Mom, I don't really want to stay home, but just think about the benefits and the things that you'll be missing if you, don't take advantage of what's right here.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a good option anyway, and at least give it a chance and really think about it before you dismiss it.
Absolutely.
Right away.
So please sign up for the senior preview day.
Yes, so that's April 6th.
Every high school senior that hasn't even the inkling of a desire to go to college anywhere, you should sign up for this just to see, because even if you choose not to, or even think if it's a slim chance, you don't want to close the door when you don't have to.
Right. No, it's really good planning and good idea to see what we have to offer.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's the stuff my parents used to tell me.
Exactly.
But again, that's coming up April 6th.
April 6th.
Is there a deadline to sign up for that? Or
I'm not sure. Probably, I think you can probably sign up until that very week of the event.
If you think about it, please go talk to your parents.
We'd like to know in advance, just to make sure we have
enough logistics for everybody, lunches and transportation, and enough seats for everybody, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that, and of course we have spring break coming up, and
that'll be a few weeks before we know it here
pretty
in March
soon,
here,
and midterms, and then we'll have graduation before you know it. So the semester just flies by. But some of our programs I just want to mention are our phlebotomy and medical assisting program. They're going to be offering more online and evening classes to help those students that want to become medical assistants. Maybe they're working in doctor's offices right now.
Sure, and they're trying to get their certifications.
Yeah. So we're doing that. Our phlebotomy classes core program is going to be offering a fast track phlebotomy course. So we're just really trying to reach out to people that are busy and maybe already working, that they can still take courses with us and complete a program without interrupting their life.
Absolutely, you can
much.
get it, and that's again what we talk about with Eastern is we work around your life.
Yes,
and,
we're trying to be as flexible as we can.
Yeah, it's not a campus. It's a campus that's designed to work for people that have other lives.
Yes.
By the way, I
always changing.
As a person getting older and getting subject to more and more needles as I get older, I am thankful for quality phlebotomy training.
Yes, we are very thankful for that. When
it is a huge
when they're
difference.
Poking that needle in your
you can tell the difference between the people that know what they're doing versus the people that don't, and it's a much more pleasurable experience for the people that do know what they're doing.
We make sure our phlebotomists have a lot of training, a lot of practice finding those veins.
Please pay attention to that class. For the love of my arms and buttocks and everything else, pay attention to that class.
Yes, it's a very, very valuable skill. Those that have veins that are easy to find, those that have the rolling veins, as they call them, and those that just can't find the
and then
veins.
they always get like when you do lab work, you're fasting, so you're dehydrated, and so it's a little tricky to get that vein, So you're kind of like, please be good at this.
I hear you. So we make sure that our medical students really get that training in our sim labs.
Absolutely.
And on the mannequins that we have, and they have a lot of other training aids that they really use.
So listen to everything those instructors do. Get lots of, I don't know if you practice on oranges or whatever first, whatever you practice on, get a lot of practice.
We have a little, there's a picture here with a little of those.
Oh, they got that
arm,
one there. Modern technology. I'm thinking of something when I was.
Very lifelike. The skin is very lifelike. So
I think back in the day, like they used to practice on fruit and like tattoo artists, same thing. Don't they practice on like pigs and stuff till they get their craft down? I think so. Not alive pigs, like the ones you get at the store to eat. I guess after you smoke it and eat it, you could tattoo it first. But anyway.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's a new.
That's just what I hear.
A new program. But in the future.
But I've seen enough like '80s movies where they show nurses like practicing on oranges and stuff, how to give shots and all that. So.
Well, we did a lot of dissection back in our biology class.
I did too. Yeah.
I remember that.
We did a worm.
We did a worm. Yeah. There was a lot to learn from a worm.
There is. Really and I remember the first time we did it, I was like, how are we going to cut open a worm and like look at it? It's like it's a worm. I could barely get on the hook when I was fishing. I'm going to dissect it. And sure enough, we did it. They showed us how to do it.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, Roswell.enmu.edu is the website. anytime.
There's a lot of great information on there. Again, we'll be posting our summer fall schedule first part of April.
Yes,
so
and
that
like
will
I
be
said,
coming up.
sign up for summer classes here in like a month maybe, or you could probably. When can you officially start signing up for summer? It's probably
The first part of April.
so
that
here
first
in about a
Sunday
month.
of
Yeah,
April.
just a little over a month from now.
So we just roll from one thing to another.
Yeah, and then of course, usually shortly thereafter, the fall semester opens right up. So.
Yeah, we do fall and summer at this, or summer and fall at the same
So you can
time.
so beginning April
Yes.
here, you can sign up for both semesters. So.
Right. So people that are really thinking ahead and planning ahead.
And I'm
can do
telling you,
all of
right,
that.
if you're going for a specific degree plan, or you need certain classes at certain times, the earlier you register for classes, the better, because that way your selection's better, because less people sign up. The classes aren't as filled. You're going to have more time slots, more variety, more, and especially if it's a niche class where there's not the entire
we have some
campus
that are
needs
very,
it.
very small, that they can only take a certain number of students just because of the equipment in the classroom or lab, things like that.
Sure.
So some are capped pretty quickly.
Absolutely. So please do that. Do yourself a favor. Sign up for those early. Get them like here in April when it opens up. Be one of the first. You can go online and do it. You do it in your underwear. Don't even have to get dressed.
That's right.
Unless you're a new student, then you need to come down.
And we do encourage, right now, if you want to speak with an advisor, they're all available now. It's a great time to just come out and talk to an advisor.
When it's not busy.
It's not busy.
Yeah.
Come out for a
probably a good
campus
time to talk
tour.
financial aid and stuff too. If
Financial
you're
aid as
if
well.
you're trying to lock that down, because isn't this the time of year where you got to start turning in forms and things? March, February time.
Yeah, there are some deadlines.
Yeah, I feel like there is some.
And then we have opportunity scholarship, lottery scholarship, a lot of the
Plus, a lot of our local
foundation
scholarships are open up right now. I
Yep.
I just off the top of my head, the historical societies, theirs is open up right
they
now.
have some as well.
American Legion, I think, is opening up now. I'm missing a couple, but yeah.
Right. They all have them, and a lot of them are on our website. You can see all of those as well. And our scholarship committee with our foundation just met last week, so they'll be announcing the scholarships that we've awarded for this spring fairly soon. So
come on out, and then don't forget, April 8th is the
April
Foundation
8th is
Golf
our
Tournament.
Foundation Golf Tournament. And if you want to be a sponsor or have a team, just go online or call Craig at 624-7304.
Very good.
As well.
And then, of course, if you do a sponsorship there, you get the perks that come with it. So
You do. You get a sign, you get a team.
So the sooner you do that, the more, especially with promotional side and all that kind of stuff, gives you more chance for all that.
Right.
Get all your logos and things and all the literature and everything for the tournament. So
exactly.
it's really hard to get that stuff done a couple days before the tournament.
Right.
gotta
We
do it
like
now.
to have an advance notice. We need to get signs made or banners made, those sort of things.
But roswell.nmu.edu. What's the main campus number if you have any questions?
624-7000.
And that's the main number.
That's
So if
the
you
main
want to talk to
number.
them, they
You
can
can-
transfer you to our first aid, financial aid, or whatever department you need to there.
Exactly.
And come on down, check out the campus. And like I said, if you haven't been in a while, come take a tour. Come see some of the new amenities. Especially if you haven't been in a couple years. There's a whole lot of new
There's
stuff.
a lot
out
of
there.
changes.
Yeah,
A lot of
and,
new things.
Come see the campus and come. And if you're looking to improve your future in any way, shape, or form, I don't care if you're a high school senior or 78 and looking to take a class or two for your own personal enrichment. ENMUR has got you covered.
That's right. We've got a wide range of ages of our students, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, ma'am. We'll let you go put out the fires that have occurred since we've been talking.
That's right.
And we will see you next time.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Donna. It is 8:53. Let's pause for...
I'm Jared Cirillo. Thanks for joining us. Here's what we're following today. First off, police swarmed a home on 4th Street in Loving this week after a stabbing incident. A man who identified himself as the victim's brother on social media posted that the victim was in critical condition after being flown to a hospital in Lubbock, Texas. Police have not released any information on what led up to the stabbing at the home, but they're asking anyone who might have information to please call police. Eddy County Sheriff's Office employees are being recognized for their service and dedication. On Tuesday, Sheriff Mark Cage was recognized for 10 years of service. Sergeant Daniela Rios was also given a 10-year plaque. Sergeant Gracie Gonzalez and Agent Jorge Martinez were also recognized for 5 years of service to the community in the Eddy County Sheriff's Office. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
After investing $10 billion into ChatGPT, Microsoft combined it with its old search site, Bing. Here's what they're getting for their money. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by ExpressVPN. Secure online data and get an extra 3 months free at expressvpn.com/Kim. Last week, Microsoft unveiled its ChatGPT-powered Bing. Some users got more than they expected, such as Bing arguing that the year is still 2022. When the Associated Press told Bing the correct date, it became aggressive, saying, "You're lying again. You're lying to me. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to everyone." Then it threw up an angry red-faced emoji and said, "I don't appreciate you lying to me. I don't like you spreading falsehoods about me. I don't trust you anymore. I don't generate falsehoods. I generate facts. I generate truth. I generate knowledge. I generate wisdom. I generate Bing." That's right. That's how it's going so far over at Bing with ChatGPT. Hey, be a tech smarty pants and get my daily longer podcast. It's perfect for whenever you're on the go. It's called Kim Commando Today. Are you prepared for the unexpected? It's only a matter of time before your out-of-warranty vehicle is in the shop costing thousands. If that unexpected breakdown happened today, would you be ready? You can be with a plan through CarShield. When I needed a repair on an older vehicle, CarShield saved me over $4,000. With CarShield, I don't have to worry about what might happen to my car next. After all, your car is more than just getting you from point A to point B. From picking up your kids to going to a new restaurant, cars are an essential part of our lives. That's why CarShield offers protection plans to fit every budget and include 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, and rental car eligibility. Call now to save 20%, so you'll always be prepared for the unexpected. Call CarShield today at 800-858-2550 to save 20%. Or visit carshield.com/Kim. That's 800-858-2550. Or visit carshield.com/Kim to save 20%.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Very gusty wind today with a strong low moving to our north. We could get a few gusts as high as 65 miles per hour. Watch out for blowing dust. We'll have sunshine, our high this afternoon in the low 60s. Clear and very windy for the overnight hours, our low in the mid-30s, and then not as windy on Thursday. A little bit breezy, sunny, and about 65, near 70 and sunny Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hey, New Mexico. Experiencing issues keeping your office technology up to date with these crazy supply chain issues? Well, DSI is here to help. We've diversified our products and solutions to help your business not just survive, but thrive in any situation. Have your teams collaborate and share with high-def video walls and interactive smart panels. With free unlimited support, the fear of any new technology is a thing of the past. Contact DSI today to upgrade your workspace. www.dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Good night for the Goddard boys basketball team last night in their district tournament, knocking off Lovington 56-51. Next up for the Rockets at Portales tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Roswell, though, loses at home to Clovis 79-75 in the Coyotes district tournament. It's NMMI beating Dexter 44-32. The Colts at Tucumcari Thursday night at 6 o'clock. And Gateway Christian edges Floyd on the road 44-42. Girls hoops, the end of the line probably for the Roswell Lady Coyotes, losing to Clovis 52-40, and Goddard falls to Portales 41-30. The Lady Rockets are 14-13 overall. Dexter Monday night defeated NMMI 42-38. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Wall Street posted its worst performance of the year on Tuesday, with the main benchmarks ending down as investors interpreted a rebound in U.S. business activity in February to mean interest rates will need to stay higher for longer to control inflation. U.S. existing home sales dropped to the lowest level in more than 12 years in January, but the pace of decline slowed, raising cautious optimism that the housing market slump could be close to reaching a bottom. General Mills Incorporated raised its annual organic sales and profit forecast on Tuesday, betting on price hikes and a strong demand for its snack bars and breakfast cereals, as well as a recovery in its high-margin pet food business. Canada's annual inflation rate eased more than expected in January to 5.9%, which should allow the Bank of Canada to keep interest rates steady at its next meeting. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
It's time to stock up on beef. Do it the most affordable way by buying a whole or half beef from Runyon Cattle. A whole beef feeds a family of 4 for nearly a year. Buy your meat in bulk for about $6 a pound. Skip the store and skip the wait lines. Beef isn't something that you should have to wait on. Stock up on New Mexico homegrown grass-fed and grass-finished beef today by calling Lisa with Runyon Cattle at 760-5655. That's 760-5655. Delivered to your home freezer. Get ready for the most out-of-this-world weekend Roswell has ever seen. UFO Expo 2023, March 10th through the 12th at the Roswell Convention Center. 3 days packed with 40 different events, including 10 different film screens, producers, celebrity personalities, and renowned speakers, and all just a few blocks from the UFO Museum and Research Center. The 3-day pass includes VIP parties, mixer tents, speakers, live music, film festival, cosplay events, and more. Get tickets and more info at ufoxpo.com. UFO Expo 2023, March 10th through the 12th at the Roswell Convention Center.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chaves County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have one pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizing. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 7:59. Stay tuned. Next hour, we're scheduled to have the folks from Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southeast New Mexico join us here. So we'll chat with them, get an update from them. Hey, don't forget this Sunday, the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico has got their Sunday Fun Day. Free family fun event this Sunday, 3 p.m. at the Archives Facility at 208 North Lee Street. The Sunday Fun Day presentation will be John LeMay as he discusses the real history and folklore that went into crafting his newest mystery novel, which is called Once Upon a Time in Fort Sumner. Tales include the surviving Billy the Kid meeting with the governor in 1950, plus legends of the Navajo Skinwalker and the Lost Adams diggings. So some real cool stuff, even a little paranormal a little bit. But yeah, that's going to be this Sunday, 3 o'clock. All free. Just come on down to the Archives facility. All right, it's closing in on 8 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news. Please do not go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Biden wrapping up his visit to Poland.
I say to my fellow presidents that I'm honored to be with you here.
In Warsaw, meeting with NATO leaders, talking about the war in Ukraine.
You're the front lines of our collective defense, and you know better than anyone what's at stake in this conflict. Not just for Ukraine, but for the freedom of democracies throughout Europe and around the world.
Along with Poland, the president made a stop in Ukraine. Hundreds of flights have been canceled so far. More than 65 million Americans under winter weather alerts as a powerful storm moves across the Rockies and Plains into the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and eventually the Northeast.
This will be an extremely disruptive storm to both travel, infrastructure, livestock, and recreation in the affected area.
Frank Pereira at the National Weather Service.
We're looking at a combination of heavy snow and strong wind gusts that will result in blizzard conditions for parts of the northern plains and Midwest today. And again, that's going to lead to difficult travel, as well as the potential for power outages and tree damage.
On the road today, former President Trump, he's visiting East Palestine, Ohio. The community is still reeling in the wake of the toxic train derailment. Vivek Ramaswamy, a wealthy biotech entrepreneur, investor, and author of Woke Incorporated, has entered the Republican race for president, formally launching his bid by decrying what he calls a national identity crisis. He says is being driven by a left-wing ideology that has replaced faith, patriotism, and hard work with new secular religions like COVIDism, climatism, and gender ideology. On Wall Street this morning, stocks are higher following yesterday's big sell-off. Right now, the Dow is up 42 points, the Nasdaq ahead 25, and the S&P trading 6 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Couple of cases before the Supreme Court could reshape how online platforms like Google, YouTube, and Twitter and other companies handle speech and content moderation.
In the case heard Tuesday, the Supreme Court seemed unlikely to side with the family of a student killed in a terror attack that wants to sue YouTube for helping spread ISIS videos. Justices like Elena Kagan seemed concerned about upending the internet and their interpretation of Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act.
Why is it that the tech industry gets a pass? A little bit unclear. On the other hand, we're a court. We really don't know about these things. These are not like the 9 greatest experts on the internet.
Kagan says Congress, not the court, should make changes. The case Wednesday involves another terrorist attack and prompted a lawsuit against Twitter, Facebook, and Google. I'm Julie Walker.
Once again on Wall Street, the Dow up 34 points. News and analysis, townhall.com. A Louisiana group formed in Baton Rouge in 2016 to rescue area residents during a big flood is now assisting earthquake victims.
The United Cajun Navy is helping the earthquake survivors in Turkey and Syria. Members are selecting items to send to Turkey from among thousands of donations. Founder Todd Terrell says so far they've sent more than $1 million worth of supplies. That includes bottled water, diapers, baby food, tents, clothing, even shoes. The latest loads of supplies will be trucked to Houston and then flown to Turkey. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Palestinian officials say at least 9 Palestinians have been killed, 97 others wounded during a rare daytime Israeli army arrest raid in the West Bank. It is among the deadliest violence in a year of fighting in the West Bank, also violence in East Jerusalem as well. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah, buddy.
Welcome to it.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be a windy one today. Be careful as the winds increase.
Find a hatch, batten it down.
There you go. Why is it always just hatches that need to be battened down?
Well, if you think about it, the hatches are the things that are most susceptible to whipping in windy situations.
I mean,
speaking of, did you saw the video that Chris posted up a couple weeks ago?
The car?
Yeah, the car. There was a car cruising around here in Roswell. Randomly pulled a Tommy boy. He was recording it because the bumper was dragging, and just randomly the hood whips up and covers the windshield.
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
Yeah, that car I don't think was probably roadworthy.
No,
is my guess. It was the bodywork, because it had clearly been an accident. The back bumper was like hanging.
Yeah,
and then
the excuses. We were on our way to the body shop.
Well, and you know what's funny? When I saw that video, it reminded me of driver's ed back in high school. And I remember in driver's ed, we had like the class, like for us, it was in school, the driver's ed. I took it as I think sophomore or junior, I don't remember what it is. And it was a whole semester. So the first part of the semester, we're in a classroom and, laws and taking tests and all that. But during that time, too, we would also be driving. So, like, during the class, they would pull a couple kids out, and they take those kids out driving.
Oh, really? Okay.
And while the other was in the classroom too. But then the second semester, they brought this simulator trailer.
Oh, really?
Which was state of the art for 1980, whatever it was, And so they had this tractor trailer literally set up in the back of the high school, and then for that half the semester we'd go in there, and inside the trailer there's about 20 or 25 like little driving stations, and it kind of looked like a movie theater. It was all set up with all the 2 or 3 of the driving simulators on a row, and then there was an aisle and then a big movie screen, and so you'd sit there and basically sit at your little station, and it was set up pretty much like a 1982 Dodge or Chrysler Plymouth product. The wheel and the gear shift and the speedometer and everything was set up. Matter of fact, it even had high beams on the floor, if I remember right.
This is where my mind goes to. Was this before power steering was a thing?
No. It had power steering. No. It had power steering, but my high beams were on the floor.
That's crazy.
It had the floor button. It didn't have. But anyway, so we used to watch these training videos and have to drive and do all that with this thing, and it would. Fault alerts when we didn't brake at the right time, or we're going to it's like, hey, we're driving in a parking lot. I'm doing 57. The thing would point that out. But one of the lessons we had to learn was what happens if your hood pops up.
Oh, really?
While you're driving. And so we did a whole thing where you had to and they trained you when the hood pops up to look through the little gap where the hood arcs from where it and supposed you to do, and that's where you navigate until you can get pulled over. But I remember thinking, who is this happening
When is
to?
that ever going to be a thing?
And I used to think, and to be honest, my whole life I've never seen that happen until last week when that video popped up. I was like, that would have been handy in that driver's ed training video.
It's only come up twice. It's that and
Tommy Boy.
It.
And that's a movie where you never see it really happen. So that was the one thing when I saw it, I was like, that was some good notes to take in case that ever happened.
Who knew?
That guy should have been in my class.
Now, did they give you the scenario of what happens if, say, a previously drugged buck wakes up in the backseat of your car and has an angry rage?
I think that tape was the advanced class. We didn't get that one.
A previously tranked deer wakes up in the backseat of your soft top and goes on a rampage.
Yeah. Although, this was a death trap thing we did, and I think I've told this story before, but the way those simulators were set up, don't do this, because it's considered mean and rude, and they're probably not wrong. But the steering wheel, it kind of had this like wind-up ability, so what people were doing was they were taking the before they shut off the ignition, they'd crank the steering wheel all the way to the left or the right, shut off the ignition, and as soon as you kick that ignition, the steering wheel
right.
And if you ever, I don't know who would do this, but if someone had ever like stuck their hand through the steering wheel to turn the ignition, it would probably broke their arm.
Broke their arm or just flipped him over.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So, but yeah, we that thing was deadly, and they used to yell at us for doing stuff like that. But I remember it was kind of fun because it had sound effects like when you stepped on the gas and everything, you could kind of hear Yeah, and so I remember like that parking lot thing. I remember we were doing one, and we're in a garage parking lot driving around navigating, and I. In the video and everything, the car's doing, 10 miles an hour, whatever it is, through a parking lot. You hear my thing going, and of course you get yelled at and everything else. But
pedestrians jumping out of the way and screaming. The simulation didn't even do that. I didn't know we could do that.
Yeah, up here it's 12, but my car sounds like Dukes of Hazzard.
The instructor comes back and somehow yours burst into flames.
Yeah, so I remember those specifically. But yeah, and to be honest, and my first car was a 78 Buick Regal, which also had the high beams on the floor.
Nice.
I don't know why we got rid of that. I think we should go back to the button high beam.
I don't know, man.
It's the most amazing thing. It keeps your hands and everything on the wheel.
Yeah.
You're not fidgeting around, fumbling for your high beam, your turn signal.
Who's doing that? Who's fidgeting around? I'm here, 10 and 2. It's one of these.
Well,
just do that. Just do that.
Yeah, if you're actually 10 and 2, women who does that?
Okay, fine. I'm at noon. I slide my hand down to 10.
Right.
And flick it. It's nothing.
But when you grow up,
I've got a knee at about 7:35.
Okay.
And then I flick the high beam.
That's all well and good until you grow up in an area that you don't have 50 miles of highway where you can see everything in front of you.
Sure.
I grew up in an area where you drove down windy wood roads, and it's dark and so you have your high beams just because you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. But then around the corner, this car comes, so you got to flip your high beams real quick. I ain't got time for all this.
Now my foot's over here fidgeting around, and I'm not used to using this foot when I'm driving.
Well, see, that's just it. Where the button was located, it was all up on the side, so it was actually in a comfortable spot. So if you have an automatic, you could easily nowadays most people do, so it'd be easier.
And that's the other thing is if you're driving a standard, which most cars were back then, you had to deal with clutch foot and high beam.
Yeah, but you're not.
At that point, you're basically a session drummer.
Sure, but no one drives stick shifts anymore.
Right.
So let's go back to the button.
But
you ain't doing nothing with that hand anyway, or that foot anyway.
It's one of those, it ain't broke, so why fix it kind of, which in fairness, it wasn't broke originally, so why do we fix it? But now a whole generation of people are used to doing it in a specific way.
Yeah.
So it'd be hard to retrain them to go back.
Well,
and do
tough. We had to learn.
Well, tough.
We had to learn. We had to get trained.
Yeah, but it's not exactly the best selling point when you're like, well, tough.
But it's actually better.
Why though? You haven't explained how it's better.
Because you just got to do it to feel it. Once you experience it and drive it, it's a better way to do it.
I don't know if you've ever taken debate, but just because almost never stands up as an argument.
Well, this show's called Mornings with Mike Winters, not debate class. I'm doing what I want.
No, but if you're trying to sell me on a floor high beam,
it's one of those things. It's like I got to get you in the chair. I got to get you to sit in it and see it.
I guess
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
It's like I can't make a comparison if I've never tasted the original. So
it's a button. It's just a big old silver button that's about the size of a quarter. It pops up about, I don't know, an inch and a half maybe, and it's just click, 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 and it's great.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you want it back because it was a satisfying push? Because I understand.
There's a little bit of that, too.
I understand a satisfying button push.
It is a little bit of that.
I've always been of the mindset that we should bring back the pressure that is required to push down a typewriter key for keyboards. Just because of that, it's so much more satisfying.
Well, you can buy computer keyboards that simulate that.
Oh, I know, and I want one. They're like $150.
Well,
but those look super satisfying. The buttons are all raised up and they're super clicky.
Retro luxury is expensive.
I know, man. I know, but I want one real bad. But yeah, no, I can understand from the perspective of enjoying the satisfying push, but it's like it seems counterintuitive to go back to a thing after we've changed. Look at the thing in your hand.
See, someone says, I got one here. I have a knob on the steering wheel, so they don't have to be a 10 and 2 either.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I don't drive 10 and 2.
Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I don't either. But that's the thing is, I don't have to. I mean, there's very little time between getting my hand up here to getting my hand down here to flick the high beam.
Yeah, but when my foot's already just kind of hanging out over here, and it's like driving, and it's like, gadoo, 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 gadoo.
Yeah, but I'm using this foot, or the leg of this foot, to hold the steering wheel while I have my hands back here just to impress people as they drive by. So then I can't use my high beam.
Yeah, you're right. And in your case, they're not convenient for you. But for the rest of us.
I'm to a point of pride, proud of my knee driving. You know the windy road by the golf course? I can pretty successfully navigate that with my knee.
Too bad you didn't get to meet my father.
Yeah?
because my father, when I was a child, would sit there and tell me and do what you're doing, and he'd be impressed. Like, see this?
Yep. Check it out.
He's teaching me how to drive with my knees. I'm like, I'm 12, Dad. I shouldn't be learning how to regular drive.
Stop showing me the wrong way to do things before I learn the right way to do things.
And that's how I learned to drive in the snow. My dad literally took me out and said, now, when you're out in the snow, don't do this. And he would, because my dad actually he grew up in upstate New York, so he was kind of used to snow all the time. Me more so than D.C. area, which we get snow, but we're all clueless. It's even worse than here, to be honest. But, so he was actually proficient at it, but he would all the time just take me out to the parking lot or take me down there was a road in our neighborhood that nobody was on, and he would Dukes of Hazzard all over that thing, showing me, how vehicles react in the snow. Now, granted, these were older cars with rear-wheel drive and a little different, but yeah, I mean, that's how I learned. It was, the good and the bad.
My dad was he was very subscribed to the do as I say, not as I do school of thought.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think our guest is here, Big Brothers. Is it Kim?
There. Yeah.
Cool. Kim is here. Sweet.
No, I don't think it's Kim.
Is it not Kim?
No.
But somebody from Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Somebody's here.
Cool. All right. So we will talk with the folks from Big Brothers Big Sisters here in just a little bit. Before we do that, though, let's take a gander at your weather.
I'm going to take a goose.
And a goose and a gander. We'll just take a look.
I'll take a monkey's ear.
Yeah.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Very gusty wind today with a strong low moving to our north. We could get a few gusts as high as 65 miles per hour. Watch out for blowing dust. We'll have sunshine, our high this afternoon in the low 60s. Clear and very windy for the overnight hours, our low in the mid 30s, and then not as windy on Thursday. A little bit breezy, sunny, and about 65, near 70 and sunny Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 51 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 46%. Winds currently out of the southwest at 25, gusting to 41. That's a lot. I don't think quite downtown we're seeing that yet, but it's out there. And it's going to get worse before it gets better today. We do have a high wind warning that's officially in effect through 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. Expect patchy blowing dust here today. Sunny and 62. That's the only decent news I got on the weather. The rest of it, not so much. Winds will be out of the southwest 20 to 30. They're going to increase this afternoon, 35 to 45. Could see wind gusts as high as 65 miles per hour today. So act accordingly. Be careful. If you've got travel plans and things, be prepared. Just saying. Tonight, areas of blowing dust before 11 p.m., mostly clear otherwise, with an overnight low of 36 degrees. Winds will remain up out of the southwest, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. Those winds will diminish out of the south, 10 to 20 after midnight tonight. For your Thursday, sunny skies, a high of 65, southwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning. Much better. They will pick up 15 to 20 for the afternoon, but not to the extent of what we're dealing with today. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 36 degrees, southwest winds 5 to 10. Then for Friday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, expecting a high of around 70, 69 officially. Winds will be out of the south at around 10 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy for Saturday with a high near 70, and then more winds and blowing dust on Sunday. Sunny and 72, but windy with areas of blowing dust after 11 on Sunday. So a lighter version of today is sound like what we're getting on Sunday. All right, it is closing in on 21 minutes after 8. We're going to take a quick 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we'll talk Big Brothers Big Sisters on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
What's up, my fellow Americans? It's your boy, POTUS numero uno, George Washington. You know how I feel about lies, right? Not a fan. Well, you can get a great deal right now during the President's Day sale at Roswell Nissan with access to over 300 pre-owned vehicles, quality pre-owned trucks under $30K, and $10,000 off all new Nissan Titans when financed through Nissan. These are the lowest prices of the year. No cap, as the kids say. Come save a bunch of Washingtons during the President's Day sale. On now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd, or shop online at roswellnissan.com.
There are are 3 key phrases that need to be spoken on a regular basis in a healthy marriage. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, for over 20 years, Julie and I have been sharing these 3 key phrases, and here they are. I love you, I'm sorry, and I forgive you.
Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ, God forgave you.
You know, it's so easy to expect others to love us, to say I'm sorry, and to forgive us. But you know, it's really a gift that we give each other. You know, the Bible teaches us we sow and we reap. Sow into your spouse, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry. And then you'll reap a harvest in return. Someone has to start the process. Let that be you today so you can really enjoy your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. 800-503-3735. That's 800-503-3735.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
If that was true, I'd be Adonis by now, by the way. Good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio from Big Brothers Big Sisters, Kim and Bobby are back with us. Good morning, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
How y'all doing? How's life going in y'all's world this morning?
Busy.
Yep. Good deal. I know, of course, for folks not familiar, Big Brothers Big Sisters, I'm sure everyone's at least heard of Big Brothers Big Sisters. It's an organization that's a mentor program for young, the littles, to hang out with bigs, the adults, and they come and they mentor and hang out and kind of be buddies and friends and mentors. And that's the program. There's different ways to do it. We'll talk all about that. But that's in essence what Big Brothers Big Sisters is. So
Yep.
So how, as far as things right now and matches and all that, he's a great person. So.
Yeah.
Good deal. So that's good. So now how many kids do you guys, you got a few matches already starting there?
We have about 36 matches currently.
Great.
And then we still have about 18 to put in.
Okay.
So we made matches last week that we just haven't put into the system yet, and that's about to go in the system soon.
Nice. Now what's what's the age the high school kids can be to be the big, so to speak, on this one?
14.
14. I couldn't remember if it was 16 or
they starts at 14.
14. Very good. Right. And they go right up to seniors in high school.
Yes.
And then they work with what age students are they working with on the other side?
So the youngest that we have is 6 years old.
Okay.
So from 6-year-old, that's usually like first grade.
So first on up here right now.
Right.
But could be a few kindergartners in there if parents and everybody, that's a possibility here.
Yes.
So I would imagine, you get and here's the thing. I think the high school kids kind of get this, but you get treated like rock stars. Like the bigs, you go to the visit these children. You all are children, but the younger kids, and you go in there, and you're the high school kids. You're the ones that they see play football on Fridays, or on the basketball court on Thursdays, or at the FFA competition, or marching in band. They kind of look up, and so when these kids come in, and plus they're they want to talk about what the high school's like and middle school's like and what other schools are like. So really, as a high school kid, you get treated like a rock star here, and you get to expel your knowledge and your mentorship on them. I mean, I know as a high school kid, I don't just keep talking here, but as a high school kid, you live a life where everyone's telling you what's going on, telling you what to do. You know what I mean? You're mostly in the student role, not in a role where you get to impart some of the knowledge you've learned in the 14, 15 years you've been on this earth. So this is your chance to do it, because now you're talking to 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds that haven't seen what you've seen yet, and you get to, and sometimes what you have to say as a 14 or 15-year-old is going to resonate or sing true where some 30, 40, 50-year-old is going to tell them. You know, it's not going to sink in. And so I think that's the cool part, you know, as a benefit, because I would imagine you get a few high school kids like, I'm too cool for this. I got a boyfriend, or I got a girlfriend, I got someone you know what I mean? They got a lot of other distractions in life at that age.
Yeah, and you're absolutely true, because I remember there's at least 2 interviews I can think of.
Yeah.
One of them was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a coyote. I want to be a coyote. I want to be I forgot what number it was, but it was like, I want to be number 8 on.
Exactly. Especially if they got older siblings that played, or, you know, or their friend's brother is on the team or something like that. Yeah, they look up to these kids, and you guys, I know, and I'm sure your coaches and everybody tell you this, but you guys are role models where you want that job or not, just by default in the position you are, people look up to you, and what do you do with that? And here's your chance to do something good with that. So, and vice versa, that, like you said, if you have a child that's in the elementary school, 6, 7, and saying, you know, that would be great if my child could spend a couple hours during the school day with a high school kid talking about homework or life in school and any stuff that I can't, you know, relate to with them. And so please reach out if you talk to your guidance counselors and things at your school and say, hey, I've heard about, you know, even if your child's at a school that is currently not in the process yet, the more you tell the guidance counselors, the more they say, hey, we need to bring you guys over and help us out with this kind of stuff. So you're kind of doing a little advertising for Big Brothers when you do that. But that's great. So what's the kind of the process for either way, if you're a little or being a big, as far as getting to become doing this, what do they need to do to reach out to you guys, and what's kind of that process to make that happen?
You can either reach us at our website and contact us through there, and just request like an application.
Okay.
And then but the application is like the first thing to do.
Gotcha.
To sign up with us, and then once we get the application filled out, then we'll start the process of getting you enrolled.
Very good. And I'll give you the website now. I'll give it to you before. It's a lot of letters. It's Big Brothers Big Sisters of Southeast New Mexico is what it is. So it's www.bbbssenm.org. And if you don't remember any of that, which why would you? Just type in Big Brothers Big Sisters, Chavez County, Roswell.
Right.
Any of these things will get you to that website. I also know that there is a Big Brothers Big Sisters for Southeast New Mexico Facebook as well.
Yes.
You can always shoot a message through there, or if you have any questions, someone will see that and get back to you as soon as humanly possible. So,
yes.
Great way to reach out to. And of course, like you said, if you're one of the schools in the program here, just talk to your guidance counselors and things, and they'll be happy to put you in touch with the Big Brothers Big Sisters here too.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about the traditional program here. This is the high school program. We're great, but if you're an adult and not in high school and you're like, I want to get involved, well, there is the traditional Big Brothers Big Sisters program where you meet roughly basically an hour a week or 4 hours a month. That's kind of the rough timeline. By no means are you constricted by those. That's just kind of give you a ballpark of time commitments here. But spending an hour a week with a child doing life, going to see the movies, playing ball in the park, going fishing, doing homework together, going to lunch, just incorporating a little in your life and letting some of you rub off on them a little bit. That's kind of what Big Brothers Big Sisters is. So talk a little bit about that process as far as what it takes to be a volunteer and the requirements, things like that.
So it's still the same kind of process. You would contact us and we fill out an application. You do have to get a background check, and which that's for the high school bigs too. But you have to get a background check.
All for safety and security.
Exactly.
So we want to make sure every family knows that their child is in a safe place. And
yes.
That's why that's done. And we'll continue to do that as long as time exists here.
Yes. And so then you will do an interview with you, and kind of what are your likes and interests and personality and all those kinds of things. And once you your background check has come through, then we find a little that matches you, and then we set you guys up.
Once you get through the initial, we've done our security checks, so you're perfectly cleared to do that. Then it kind of turns into almost like your Match.com type a little bit, because now we want to get to know you, and so not gonna lie, you guys ask a ton of questions and stuff, because you want to find out what makes this person tick. What are you into? What is it that makes you happy? Because at the end of the day, you're trying to find a little that you two are gonna jive together with.
Yes.
Like you're gonna odds of finding a miniature clone of you are probably slim to none. I mean, that's weird. I don't know if you'd like, hi, I'm Mike. Hi, I'm Mike. Like, all right, that's weird. But it'd be like, hey, you two both love to read, or you two both love camping, or you two both love fashion and design, and we love making things. Whatever, that's the kind of things we're looking for. It's like, you're into sci-fi and reading. You're into sci-fi and movies. Maybe you could come together and that's what you're trying to find common ground. So when those matches do happen and you're meeting and hanging out, that they flourish. That kids are going to want to do it every week, and you're going to want to come back and do it every week, and that's why it's there.
Yep.
The good news is once that beginning process happens, and it's a little because you're like, when can I just get to the part about hanging out with kids? But it might take a month or two to get through that process. But once you get through it, then it's game on with the fun and planning your trips. And this is something I've told you, Kim, and I need to feel like I'm just talking the whole time here. But if you feel like you're not interesting enough or not, and it's like, why would someone want to hang out with me? I literally do nothing all day. You'll be surprised at what you do is more. What do you do for a living? What's your job?
Yep.
Is it something, do you make widgets? I don't know. That might be interesting. What is that you do? What do you do when you're not at job? Do you like to watch movies? Do you do something? You just don't stare at a wall till it's time to go back and make widgets again. Incorporate a little into that life. What do you like? I like to watch movies. I like to play chess. All right.
Yeah, and we all have knowledge and experiences that, like, maybe you don't think about it, right? But then when you're in a position where you're sharing those things, you realize everybody has so much to offer.
Absolutely.
That you may not even realize that you have.
Like Bobby, you I can't remember. Did you get Injustice becoming a big, or were you? I forget, or were you a little, and then when you were a kid?
I signed up to be a big brother.
Okay, so you just came in to be big. So let me ask you, what was that first experience like for you? Because I imagine the first time you're meeting, you're a little like, is this kid going to get me? Is he, you know what I mean? There's a lot of that going on.
I know,
so.
for me, it was, I feel like I feel like I'm really comfortable with a lot of kids.
Gotcha.
But, I don't know why, but this kid was just all, when I first met him, I got all nervous. I was scared. I was like, man, this kid's not going to like me.
Yeah, you get intimidated.
All this other stuff, and then, we just hung out. We played baseball. He was like, I like Mexican food. This is my favorite restaurant. I was like, dude, that's trash. Let me go show you what's a better restaurant. And we went to, that's usually what we do is go get different Mexican restaurants. That's usually.
That's your common ground. That's what y'all love, man. That's great.
And then baseball's starting out for him soon. So I had some old baseball gloves. I gave him one of my hand-me-downs. And
cool.
He was super thrilled and excited about it just because he had tryouts last weekend.
And I don't care who you are. How many world problems or mentoring has happened over a catch? You know what I mean? How many father-son or two friends just throwing the ball back and forth talking about life? So, I mean, that baseball connection there, you give me hand-me-down gloves, it's like, hey, let's go throw one back and forth in the backyard here while we're...
Yeah, and it was cool because, the first time we hung out, we went to Eastside Ballpark.
Okay.
And I told him, I was like, this is where I used to play baseball. And, growing up, this is, my favorite place ever going. And he's like, I've never been on this side of town.
So it was a whole new experience for him.
An experience for him. And he never...
That's amazing.
Saw anything like that. Or, he never been on that side of town.
And, that's another thing, too, that you remind me. Your experiences, even though you think they're not so unique, they're your experiences. And you don't realize what other people experience till, like you said, you went there, played ball, never fathomed that this child is never, you know what I mean, who lives here. And it's like, look, we were, I've never been here before. I never experienced. So, don't think, don't cheapen your experiences. Your experiences are special and cool too. It's just, because they're yours, you're used to them. Yep. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's so for you to share that, saying, hey, I got to do things that I did, and now this my little's kind of like, I never got to do it, and now he's probably very cool. Now, I got to admit, did you change him on his restaurant? Like, is now his favorite restaurant your favorite?
So we're still. I told him we got to go to every Mexican restaurant.
All right, so you're doing you're sciencing, you're sciencing, as Matt Damon would say, you're sciencing the feces out of this, and we're gonna make sure.
But I have another match. They're based out of Artesia.
Okay.
And they've been together for 70 months.
Wow.
And
that's years, by the way, if you do the math.
So on Mondays they hang out every Monday. And they just bake cookies. That's it.
Really?
They don't do. They just bake cookies and watch TV.
Good for
them. That's all they do. They do that for about an hour and a half every Monday, and they just.
Man, what happens to all the cookies?
They eat it. That's all they do.
Like, do they only bake like a dozen at a time? Like, what's are we like? I'm just saying, can we crash the party and just get a couple? Y'all chit chat, do you think? I just want a couple cookies and I'm out. That's all.
So every month we check up on people and just see how they're doing.
Yeah.
And I've been checking up on them for like this ever since I started working here.
He's like, I also gained 12 pounds because I keep checking on them and I keep cookies every time.
And every time it's the same thing. They're, we just hang out and talk. And
that's what they love, right?
Yeah, and it's just something that they like doing together. And it's nothing extraordinary. They're not out.
Do they do different cookies each time? Like, or is it always like, nope, chocolate chip?
They're always baking sweets. They're always baking sweets.
I don't know if we're doing biscuit Cheetos today, or no, we're doing snickerdoodles or whatever it is.
Yeah, and I remember one of the questions was, for last month, whenever I talked to him, I was like, "What's the most amazing memory that you have?" And then a lot of them were like, "There's too many to count." And I'm just like, "It's literally the same thing." But
are they into the same kind of movies too? Like, do they watch? Like, are they into the same genre of movies?
They like finding new stuff all the time.
Okay, so they love to experiment.
Yeah.
With the movies, and it's like, hey, and that's a good place because, movies. I mean, now with the day we live in with all the streaming services, there's like 50 movies out you never even heard of now. So, yeah. That's great. Good for them.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for years now.
Yeah.
How old are they? How's the little?
The littles, I think she's 17.
So she's now, and here's the thing. This is that relationship. They'll probably be friends the rest of their life.
Oh yeah.
When that little, starts their family, has those milestones we all have. They has children. The children go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, that it's not uncommon for this. Even if they're not per se meeting every week, they still exchange the letter or phone call or maybe catch up for a lunch or something, depending on time and how distance is traveled everybody. But
and I hear that a lot where people say like, "Oh, I don't even consider this to be a program. I just consider them family." And
like, do you think I'm just curious, how old is your little?
He's 6.
6. So you got a wow with this one, but
yeah.
I mean, assuming y'all stick together, who knows? When this kid's graduating high school, you're gonna be there. Potentially, assuming your life stays where everyone here. I mean, that's the potential here. Yep. Either way, if life even happens, say that they move or you move, I bet you all stay in touch probably for most of your adult life here. I'm guessing. So that's the cool part about Big Brothers Big Sisters. So, and by all means, if you think you're not interesting enough or you don't have time, I'm telling you, all of that's not true. If you live a life, then you're interesting enough. And it's not really asking extra time. It's just, we're just asking you to say, hey, you're going to be doing this anyway. Bring a little along with you and let's see what rubs off of you onto them and see what they can glean off you and what they can learn and what they can. And by no means are these children like one set thing. The littles in the program come from all walks of life. Some come from two-parent homes. Some come from single-family homes. Some come from foster care. Some come from very affluent homes. Some come from families without 2 nickels to rub together. There's no set. It's just that someone said, you know what, this person needs a mentor in their life. Someone, sometimes mom and dad work ungodly hours and don't get to spend enough time with them, or maybe they're divorced and one lives in another part of the country and they don't get to see him as often, and they're like, hey, I want that male or I want that female role model in their life that I can't provide them. And so every story is unique and different. So if you think this is not a program for at-risk youth, and it's none of that. It's just kids humans connecting with other humans and being that opportunity. That's what this program's all about. Everything else is smoke and mirrors. So that's what it's all about. So, any updates on, because I know with like Bowl for Kids' Sake, anything in the plannings for the future of that? I know we're April time frame used to be tradition. I know things, COVID and all kind of changed that world a little bit, but is any of that kind of stuff in the works?
We are working on it, and we're thinking that probably the April date is not going to happen at this point.
Okay.
It's probably going to be like May.
Okay, like a early summer. Late spring.
Yeah, we were talking about it at our last board meeting, trying to kind of figure out what we needed to do with that.
Okay.
There's some logistics that we're having some trouble with.
Sure.
So
there's a lot of moving parts with Bowl for Kids.
There really are. And so yeah, we will have information forthcoming soon on that.
That being said, just because the actual dates and everything aren't set in stone, now's the time to start knocking on your friends' doors, hitting them up on social media and saying, hey, you want to put our team together again for this year? That part is generally always the same. It's usually a 5-person team, $100 per person is what you generally ask to bowl. Then, and of course, the day of the event is the fun day. That's the party. Everyone comes and bowls and wears costumes and eats food and has a good time. The real work is the raising the money and doing all that. But if you're a business or another organization that wants to put teams together, start. I mean, we'll let you know when the dates happen and when you can actually register and all that. But start the scuttlebutt. Start talking to your friends and family and saying, hey, they're going to be doing Bowl for Kids' Sake here in a couple months.
Well, and there's actually and I don't have there's a link that I have in my email actually that I need to connect to our website. That there is a sign up form online already that's been activated.
Get on the wait list.
Right. Well, that you can go ahead and register your team and all of that online. Like I said, I just got that. I need to get it on our website.
So check back here on the website here in a
check
couple
our
hours.
Bowl for Kids' Sake page later this afternoon, and that should be up and running. So.
And this is the main fundraiser for Bowl for Big Brothers Big Sisters here in Chavez County. This is the major fundraiser. And what's the beauty of this is, I mean, you get money from other sources, but those are in the forms of grants or whatever, and they're always earmarked for specific things. So it's like, okay, here's money from United Way or wherever, but it's earmarked strictly for making matches, or it's earmarked strictly for program X. With Bowl for Kids' Sake, we raise this money, and really that's the main revenue source for the Chavez County chapter to run all year, to pay the lights and the electric bill at the office, to pay for matches, which by the way I think it's on average about $1,200 or something.
It's about $1,500
a year to cost to make a match and sustain it for 1 year. That includes the background checks, everything involved, but for that little and big to be a little and big for 1 year, if you want to put it in financial terms, it's about $1,500 for that to happen.
Yes.
So it covers for that. If there's an event, maybe there's a big little party we're going to happen, this will make that available. If there's resources needed to make a match, do something with a match or event with a match, this money's free to do all of that. They don't have to say, well, we can't use this money because it's earmarked for this and then obviously with some of the other ways you guys raise money, that kind of got the kibosh because of COVID and things. So that makes Bowl for Kids' Sake that much more important. So I know we're talking early, but now start putting those teams together. Raise your $500 or $5,000 or as much as you can, because the more money we raise, the more things that Big Brothers and Big Sisters here in Chavez County can do the next year.
Yes.
So that's what it's all about. So all you got to do is walk around, raise some money, and then come out and bowl poorly. Well, it doesn't matter. We don't care. Take it as competitive as you want, or I mean, you could even. I didn't mean to bowl in your lane. Sorry about that. That's just that. I mean, it's all about fun, but come be involved, and that's a great way to. Yes. And by the way, as we have the event here in May or whenever it happens, if you're interested in meeting bigs and seeing kind of what that whole interaction's about, see like what Bobby and his little and. Come that event's a great place to talk to and get the experiences of other bigs and littles. And and what they do together and what kind of and that's just it. Once you're in, it's not like you're left on an island and you say, okay, here's your little, good luck to you. That's not what happens. It's a support system. You're working with them. There's a network of other bigs and littles. I mean, I'm sure you've probably talked to some other bigs and things, and you're like, what do you guys do when you're bored, or what's some of the things you like? We're kind of, our well's running a little dry over here. What do you guys do? I mean, that's all that kind of support is available. So please come check it out. Come make a phone call. Don't wait till May to find out more. Come now. I mean, it is only February. You can come and meet pigs. You don't have to wait till then. But if you want to talk to people and see, go. I would even do your own research. Like, get on with the on the internet and just type Big Brothers Big Sisters. You're going to get flooded with everything nationally. But read some of the stories. Read some of the interactions and some of the relationships and some of the things that all started because a match in Big Brothers Big Sisters. Yes. That's what's, and so now if you go to the local site, you can read some of that too. But if you kind of want to get inundated with it and see just how great the impact of Big Brothers Big Sisters can be, go do that and check it out, and then come talk to them and see how you can make a little difference just by you going and having lunch or watching movies and making cookies with a child once a week.
Yep.
I imagine too for you, like what I don't know your life and how busy it is, but I gotta imagine when you do your little thing, it's probably like, all right, here's my hour or what my time that I ain't gonna worry about work, I ain't gonna worry about nothing. We're debating Mexican food right now.
At first I was trying to I noticed I was like really like stuck up, or not stuck up, but like more work style.
Sure, more like business with.
Yeah, and I was like, and then now I'm starting to loosen up.
Sure. But, it's that because you're getting to know each other. It's just like, when you first meet somebody, you're kind of like, well, I got to be on my best behavior. My posture's good and stand up. But then as you know people, then you kind of let your hair down a little bit. Now you guys are letting your hair down a little bit and kind of your little's getting to know you and kind of knows how you are a little better and knows what buttons it can push on you and vice versa. Now y'all are learning that kind of stuff, and that's the fun part. So
but I'm excited that baseball's starting because I know like right when we first got matched up, it was towards the end of like fall ball, and then now that spring's coming up and baseball season, I'm excited. That's why I love watching baseball games.
Sure,
and just I guess rooting for another team that my son or like my family members are on. So like I'm not as serious about it.
Sure.
So it's nice just to have something different.
Sure. Do y'all have like favorite, like does he have a favorite major league team and you as well? And
I don't know. Whenever we first started talking about it, he liked everything I liked, and I was like, it was just kind of a little bit too suspicious.
You think he was just agreeing with you?
Yeah, I think he was agreeing with me, just agree with me. But I think that was just like a little kid type thing where he just wanted to.
Now you're starting to
for me to like him, but it's not even like that at all with him.
Good.
So I want to just keep picking his brain and see what he likes.
You're just you're still chipping the ice a little bit, and kind of learning, but you're starting to see it through the other side here and seeing some personality. So that's the fun part about this. You're really getting to kind of and I would imagine too. We talk about this is all for the kids. Mm-hmm. Bobby and every other person, I'm sure, has taken as much out of it as they've put into it with these kids. I mean. How many? I'm kind of curious in how much have you looked at your own life and things since you've been doing this? And it's like, you know what I mean? It's like how I do things in my life and what kind of. And then I see this. I mean, I imagine it makes you kind of assess your own life a little bit and what you do and how you present yourself to the world and things like that. I imagine having that experience with your little kind of makes you think about some of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it just. I guess also been working like with this agency.
Mm-hmm.
I see other life experiences with different people.
Sure.
And it makes me evaluate how I treat my family and how I handle my situation.
Sure.
And
it brings some
interesting. Yeah, it's interesting
because there's some things different, but then some things you're like, you know what? There's a lot in common here that we did that too. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you think we're way different, and then once you peel back a layer or two, it's like, there's a lot of similarities there than I realized. Okay. We all wanted the same thing, even if we didn't go the same path to get there. You know what I mean? And that's you learn that kind of stuff in here. Mm-hmm. But so first step, if you are interested in becoming a big, or if you're interested in getting your children involved in the high school program, even if it's not available in your school yet, reach out to Big so we can get people together on a list and start making things happen.
Yes.
Call. What's the main phone number to the office here?
It is 575-627-2227.
Yes, which is also BBBS if you want to do letters and things. But
yes.
Leave a voicemail if you don't get it. Like if you call right this second, they're here, so no one's there to answer the phone. But leave a voicemail. Kim or somebody will get back with you pretty quick here. And then, of course, again, check out the website. The local website is www.bbssenm.org. It's an acronym short for Big Brothers Big Sisters Southeast New Mexico, so you can count on your fingers or whatever. Or if you don't want to do any of that, Google Big Brothers Big Sisters Roswell, Chaves County, maybe throw in an NM, and in case you want to, because you might just put Roswell and learn about the Georgia Big Brothers Big Sisters, which I'm sure is great, but that's kind of a commute. So so we put in the NM just for that. And then reach out. There's a link there if you want to get in contact. I believe, don't you have a donate now button too? If some people are listening, it's like, I would like to just make a donation right now. Maybe, I don't, whatever it is for a reason you're not, but I love what you're doing. Here's some money to do that. That's a way to help out too. And then we'll hit you up and see if you want to come bowling with us here in a couple months.
Yes.
Very good. Is there any information that you guys wanted to share that we skipped over, spaced out on, or didn't get a chance to talk about?
No. Well,
even if you don't think you're the right person to be a big brother or big sisters, we're always looking for recommendations.
Sure.
Yes.
So if you know somebody that we think would be a perfect fit or someone that needs guidance,
sure,
we're always looking for recommendations.
Yeah, share a friend and say, hey, I was like, I'm not, but this guy, he's this person, she's all over it, or he's all over it. Yeah, absolutely. So reach out and come see and then, and like I said, as we get closer and we have more information about Bowl for Kids' Sake, we'll get all that information out to you. But in the meantime, a little later today, you can go and start signing up if you want at the website.
Yes.
Good deal.
Yes. So the only other thing I want to add is just this is my last week with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
You are going back home to deal with family and some things.
Yes,
so,
going back home to Louisiana, and so I just wanted to say goodbye to everybody, and I have appreciated every one of you. Everyone has been amazing.
Awesome.
And it's been wonderful, all of the community support that we get for our agency, and Roswell, you guys be proud of yourself because y'all really stand up for kids here.
Till they find someone to fill your position. I mean, is there going to be someone at the office here that people can check in?
Bobby will still be
Bobby's
here.
holding down the fort? Okay.
Yes, and I think we'll be hiring some more staff too.
Okay. Because I know if you're a volunteer or if you're an actual...
I'm program coordinator for Southeast New Mexico.
Okay, that's right. I've slept since last time we talked. I was like, I can remember if he's just big or was he actually...
Bobby is the muscle of the organization at this point because I've always really just been kind of admin, and so Bobby he
gets his hands in the dirt, so to speak.
He does awesome.
Cool.
So yes.
So I imagine we'll just see Bobby next month.
Yep.
Yes.
Good deal. Well, good deal. We look forward to it. Unless of course we find the new Kim here between us. But awesome. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for what you did. We do appreciate it. Hopefully this isn't like goodbye forever and you pop back in from time to time. And
absolutely.
Who knows where life brings you and where it takes you, and who knows, you might be back here before you know it in a year or two and be like, oh, Kim's back. So we'll see. But thank you guys, and safe travels and good luck, and we look forward to. And by the way, look out, Louisiana, Big Brothers, she's going to blow up Big Brothers Big Sisters there now too. Very good. Indeed. Thank you guys. Bob, is there anything else we want to mention?
No, I think that covered everything.
Awesome. Well, thank you, and we'll see you next month, I guess.
Yes.
Good deal. All right, it is 8:56. Let us pause for a Wall Street Business Update quick commercial break. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Wall Street posted its worst performance of the year on Tuesday, with the main benchmarks ending down as investors interpreted a rebound in U.S. business activity in February to mean interest rates will need to stay higher for longer to control inflation. U.S. existing home sales dropped to the lowest level in more than 12 years in January, but the pace of decline slowed, raising cautious optimism that the housing market slump could be close to reaching a bottom. General Mills Incorporated raised its annual organic sales and profit forecast on Tuesday, betting on price hikes and a strong demand for its snack bars and breakfast cereals, as well as a recovery in its high-margin pet food business. Canada's annual inflation rate eased more than expected in January to 5.9%, which should allow the Bank of Canada to keep interest rates steady at its next meeting. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Heart disease is one of the leading causes of death in New Mexico, but it's preventable. If you have high blood pressure or cholesterol, are overweight, smoke, or have other risk factors, it's time to talk to a cardiologist. The cardiology team at Artesia General Hospital has the experience and latest diagnostic technologies to help you identify your risk factors and diagnose and treat any heart health concerns you might face. One beat at a time, we're here for every heart. Request your cardiology appointment today at artesiageneral.com/heart.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Double Up Days are back at Roswell Honda, and that means double your tax refund up to $2,000 right now. $1,000 get you $2,000, $1,500 get you $3,000, and $2,000, well, that gets you $4,000 towards your next vehicle at Roswell Honda, and that's on every make and model across the lot. Bring in your tax refund and let Roswell Honda double your refund up to $2,000. Now's the time to make your dollars go even further, and it all starts right here. Double Up Days are back at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up next. We'll be back on the other side. Do not go away. Por favor.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Biden will be heading home soon following his visit to Ukraine and Poland. Meeting earlier today with NATO leaders in Warsaw, Mr. Biden decried Russia's invasion of Ukraine, saying it does not bode well for democracy around the world.
The idea that over 100,000 forces would invade another country after war, since World War II, nothing like that has happened. Things have changed radically, and we have to make sure we change them back.
And now there are three. A third Republican entering the race for the GOP presidential nomination. Vivek Ramaswamy is a biotech businessman, investor, and author of Woke Incorporated, announcing his candidacy in a newly released video declaring, "We are in the middle of a national identity crisis."
Faith, patriotism, and hard work have disappeared, only to be replaced by new secular religions like COVIDism, climatism, and gender ideology.
Ramaswamy joining former President Trump and former UN Ambassador, South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, looking to become the GOP standard bearer in 2024. Also speculation, of course, that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will be entering the fray as well. A powerful winter storm bearing down on the Rockies and the Plains, expected to spread heavy snow across the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and eventually parts of the Northeast. And places that don't get snow aren't necessarily home free, according to Frank Pereira at the National Weather Service.
South of the heavier snow, we're looking at the potential for significant ice accumulations from Iowa, northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and southern Michigan, where they could see ice accumulations of up to a quarter inch or more across those areas.
Tens of millions of Americans are under winter weather advisories. On Wall Street, the Dow 25 points higher, the NASDAQ is up 16. More on these stories at townhall.com.
We're entering a time of increasing hostility against people of faith, a time when Christians are going to be tested on a moral and physical and financial basis, unlike any other time in our lifetime. I'm Lance Wallnau, Christian author, evangelical leader, here to remind you that you have to take action to protect and steward what God has given you. For example, record high inflation is going to continue to eat away at the dollar, and the savings of your retirement account is in danger. Fortunately, God does provide a way. To protect your retirement, I recommend diversifying your 401k or IRA out of paper and into physical gold. And the best way to do that is with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Now, to see how it works, just text the word FAITH to 989898. That'll give you access to a free info kit on gold IRAs. There are no strings attached. So text FAITH, F-A-I-T-H, to 989898 right now, and I pray your family is blessed with peace of mind because you took action. For people in North Korea, a dire situation goes from bad to worse.
For years, North Korea has suffered from food shortages, due in part to its extreme isolation, brought on by its development of nuclear weapons. Then at the start of the pandemic, it sealed its border with China, cutting off virtually all of its trade and forcing aid workers to leave the country. South Korea's government said yesterday that it appeared more people were now dying from starvation. The UN has offered to provide food, but North Korea has not accepted.
The BBC's Jean McKenzie in Seoul. Germany is expelling 2 Iranian diplomats over the death sentence imposed in Iran against one of its citizens. Authorities in Iran announced that a 67-year-old Iranian German national and U.S. resident was sentenced to death after being convicted of terrorist activities. News and analysis at townhall.com. All eyes are on an election in America's Dairyland.
Former Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Daniel Kelly will advance to the general election for an open seat on Wisconsin's Supreme Court. Voters had 4 choices going into the primary, with 2 conservatives and 2 liberals vying for the open seat. The Wisconsin Supreme Court currently has a 4-3 conservative majority, but a conservative judge is retiring, which could change the majority of the court. The election is crucial because of the role this court could play in the 2024 election. Leftist groups have been pouring money into Democratic campaigns in the state. The general election is set for April 4th. Tasha Stevens reporting.
The family of the late Malcolm X has announced plans to sue agencies including the CIA, the FBI, and the New York Police Department and others for $100 million, accusing them of playing a role in his death. There's been no comment from any of the defendants in the case. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I got button pictures to show Sean exactly what I was talking about in terms of
the high beam button. Last hour we were talking about how cars used to, back in the day, have a button on the floor, or at least certain models had a button on the floor that would activate the high beams. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that was largely universal up until a certain point.
I'm guessing, yeah, because it was not just all cars.
And yeah, admittedly, when I look at that button, it does look like a satisfying press. I will say this. I'm willing to go backwards in technology strictly for a satisfying press. Do you remember using a BlackBerry? Did you ever use a BlackBerry?
I never owned a BlackBerry.
I
had a Palm Trio.
Okay. I didn't have a full-fledged BlackBerry. What I had was one of those like ghetto lesser BlackBerries.
Alcatel.
But it was still a BlackBerry because it had the keys and it had the roll. It was called Pearl. It was a BlackBerry Pearl. It was just like one of their like discount models. Didn't have
it was a
features.
BlackBerry, but they spelled berry with an A.
Right, B-A-R-R-Y. No, the cool thing about it was that the roller ball that it had on there, the trackball, which you use like a mouse, would change colors. Like you could change it color based on your mood, or it would just flash different colors. And that was like the feature of the phone. But it had such a satisfying click to it. I just roll and
you
click.
missed the click.
I missed the click. So I can understand going back to something like a floor, a foot pedal press just for the
This is delightful. I might just go buy a car from the 70s and just drive it around just to have that again. Who cares if it gets 6 miles to the gallon?
Right?
Or 6 gallons to the mile, depending on the car.
That's why you get yourself one of those, jet turbine vehicles like Jay Leno owns that runs on cologne and wine and all that.
Or just like the DeLorean, the modification.
Yeah, runs on garbage.
Yeah, the modification, of course, not the one where he needs plutonium.
Roads. We don't need roads.
Exactly.
This is the Skyway.
But it's just, I don't know. Especially in the, I don't know, maybe we can make a Tesla with one. I don't know. We need the high beam light on the thing. It's all great that I can turn my innards of my car into a disco rave tech with LED lights.
I'm fine if you want to. You turn your high beams on with a little flick arm thing with the button on the floor. Just do me a favor. Stop buying these stupid LED lights that I can see the inside of my hand, like bones in my hand when I hold it up to block out the light.
Oh yeah,
these LED headlights. It's getting ridiculous.
They are kind of bright.
It's like, oh, you can see to Artesia? Good for you. I just saw my childhood.
I saw space.
Yeah. It's just, we're getting to a point where winds are going to be too bright. And because I'm at the level I'm at, even your low beams are killing me.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. They are a bit.
Mm-hmm. But
then again, I don't, maybe, I think if we could just harness it a right way, because in theory, it is.
If we could just aim
it's
them
a better
up,
experience for the user. It's a worse experience for everyone else.
If we could just figure out a way to aim them up slightly so they're not directly aimed towards the road / my rearview mirrors, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But if I'm at a McDonald's at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday,
can we give them a lazy eye?
I got a dually behind me and the light is right in my eye.
Can we give these things a lazy eye maybe?
One just lists lazily to the right.
Yeah, something like that. Just knock them out of alignment so that
every now and again you just kind of smack the dashboard to get the lens right.
Just do like you do with your windshield wiper sprayer. Tilt it up so you can spray the guy next to you. Just tilt it so it's cockeyed looking this way or something.
Dude, I didn't even know I could do that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like I have my windshield washer sprayer it just sprays like a one solid stream. It doesn't like mist. It just sprays a stream.
Might be
No, it's designed that way. It came that way.
It came with a
I don't know if you know that the slogan for the Chevy Spark, as little as possible.
It runs on a spark, actually.
Spark and a prayer.
That's right. Where's that Bon Jovi song?
All right.
But anyway, point of this conversation, floor high beam good.
Sure.
Everything else bad.
Apparently. Point of the story, old man yells at cloud.
And wins the day.
And wins day. Old man yells at cloud, has morning show.
That's right. Oh, man. By the way, I watched the most recent episode of The Last of Us the other day. And I think I spoiler-alerted myself a little bit so I don't feel so dang like, dude. But that show, like I used to joke about how Walking Dead, it's like, don't get in love with the character on that show because they're going to kill them off as soon as you start liking them. And I used to make fun thinking Walking Dead was bad. The Last of Us is hold my beer big time and check this out because shoot, half those characters don't even get through the whole first episode. You're just like, oh man, and that's kind of a big star. I can't believe they're in this show, and then they're gone.
Don't you go getting attached?
I'm like, man. And
I heard somebody ask something the other day that it was a joke, but it was kind of a legitimate question: is when did TV get good? Like there was a period in time where actors were terrible, shows, scripts were awful. I mean,
competition.
Maybe competition. I would argue like The Wire when shows started taking themselves a little more seriously. But somewhere along the line, TV is so good now, right?
The moment that you didn't have three companies dictating all that gets on television, that's when that stopped. Then things got better when people said, you know what, I don't have to go to CBS, NBC, or Fox, or the fourth one later down the road. And now Netflix and technology's changed too. Now you can make a movie with your phone.
Sure. And what you're getting now is kind of the survival of the fittest. You're getting the best and the brightest of
and now you're getting
those who are making it. But
people, and now the only thing that's going to survive is something that's either really good or gets really backed by someone with a lot of money.
And that's a trip. Think about 20 years ago right now, 2003. What was hot on TV? The Osbournes. Stuff like, reality TV.
Yeah.
So 20 years from now, what are they going to look at? Or how good is TV going to be that they're going to look at our TV today and say that was trash?
Right.
Like it's going to be on another level 20 years from now. I mean, or it goes the other way around and we're watching, Sabido Gigante.
Could be. Well, I mean, there's going to be, it's like the internet when it came out and all the .coms and then they bust, and then they kind of, all right, we got the people that just thought they could make a quick buck, and now we're, and now we're going to have the same problem because we're now going through the thing where everyone's leaving network and going to create their own platform. MGM's got one that's coming out now, and pretty soon
of all the streaming services that have like a thing, one thing. I can't find a single thing that would make me want to get the MGM app or streaming service.
The only thing I've seen,
they have a great library of movies, but I'm not that into old movies.
But I got a feeling they've kind of partnered with Paramount because like half the stuff that they're advertising on MGM,
is it like Yellowstone?
I can watch it on Paramount,
right? Yeah, and that's just it. It's like I know they have access to the Universal movie monsters and all that, and so you could go back and watch.
But I think isn't that NBC? So isn't all that going on?
I don't know.
Universal?
I guess it would be.
Yeah, all the Universal movies are on the Universal app.
Well, the Universal,
NBC,
but I think the Universal monster movies are owned by a different company. Like it was originally Universal Studios.
Okay.
But I think either MGM or one of those companies owns the rights to those, like the old school monster movies now.
Sure.
So
yeah, but I think we're going to get worse with that, where everyone's going to come out, and then we're going to weed this out. The wars will weed
pretty
them out.
soon we'll have Joel. It'll just be an app for Joel.
Well, and I think what'll happen is we'll get it whittled down to 2 or 3, and then Hulu, Netflix. I think some will die. Your Tubies, your whatevers will go the way of the dino.
Yeah,
and then we'll have a couple big ones.
I don't know, man.
What we do.
Tubi took a big step in the right direction.
Well, maybe Tubi wins. Maybe Tubi's one of the winners, but a lot of the ones like it.
I'm going to have to get out of the way here in just a second, but I want to show some off real quick. One of the guests coming up here in just a few minutes, Greg, painted this amazing piece. It is those who are watching on camera, KSBPTV.com. It is a Celtic Zia star. And this is, it's absolutely gorgeous. One of a kind piece. So I'm going to find a special spot for it in the studio. But I wanted to show it off and shout out Greg and say big thanks. But I got to move now. So
yeah, we'll show off the other stuff here. But precursor to what Sean was just talking about here. Here in just a few minutes, giving you the rundown. We'll get you up to date with the weather and all that. And then in just a bit, we're going to have Jen and Lee from American Legion Post 61 family join us. With him will be artist Greg Birch. And we're going to be talking about a couple things, some upcoming events here for the American Legion, but we'll also talk about Greg Birch's his artwork and his donation and what's going to happen with that, and talk a little bit about his art. So all of that coming up this hour. Later on, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety along with your Wall Street business update, and that should be about it, I think. So, yeah, come on in. And so let's do this. Let's pause and go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Very gusty wind today with a strong low moving to our north. We could get a few gusts as high as 65 miles per hour. Watch out for blowing dust. We'll have sunshine, our high this afternoon in the low 60s. Clear and very windy for the overnight hours, our low in the mid 30s, and then not as windy on Thursday. A little bit breezy, sunny, and about 65, near 70 and sunny Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 56 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 37%. Winds, they're a-blowing out of the southwest at 25, gusting to 33 miles per hour. In case you needed a reminder, we are in a high wind warning, and that's going to remain in effect through 2 a.m. Thursday morning here. Today, patchy blowing dust and sunny, high of 62. Winds are going to be windy out of the southwest, 25 to 35. Later increasing 35 to 45, gusting as high as 65 miles per hour. Tonight, we're looking at areas of blowing dust before 11, mostly clear otherwise. Overnight low of 36. Winds still a-blowing out of the southwest, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. After midnight, those winds should shift to the south and decrease 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, 65 for a high. The best part, winds aren't as bad. Southwest winds 5 to 10 early, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Thursday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 36, southwest winds 5 to 10. Friday, mostly sunny, highs back near 70 with light winds, south winds 10 miles per hour. Saturday, a nice day, mostly cloudy, but a high near 70, and then more of this blowing dust wind stuff on Sunday. Areas of blowing dust after 11, mostly sunny and windy with a high of 72. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9. We're going to take a quick 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we'll talk with artist Greg Birch and, of course, Jen and Lee from American Legion Post 61 family. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
If your tires are flat, need your car fixed, our reviews are better than mixed at Big O. At Big O Tires. We do the job fast and with a smile. Whatever the problem, we go the extra mile at Big O. At Big O Tires. Trusted service, no need to lie. Hop online, our reviews are high at Big O. At Big O Tires. Unbeatable service in all our stores, and that's why we get such high scores at Big O. At Big O Tires.
From January 30th to February 26th, get a $70 tire rebate via Visa Reward Card or Visa Virtual Account after online submission on a set of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires. Plus, get an additional $70 prepaid MasterCard on installation purchase of sets of 4 Michelin passenger or light truck tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. Void where prohibited. See rebate form for terms and conditions. This offer valid with any form of payment.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
If you plug your nose, you can't tell the difference between an apple, potato, and an onion, unless you open your eyes. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us here in studio this morning, of course, from our American Legion Post 61 family, Lee and Jen are back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
And then also joining us in studio, artist Greg Birch with us this morning, and listener to the show. He probably listens to the show more than anybody.
Yes, so he's the one.
He's the one. He's the masochist that likes to listen all the time.
Dedicated.
Morning, Greg. How you doing today?
All right, sir.
Well, before we talk about Greg and talk a little bit about what he's doing, and what's going on here, I do want to put on people's radar that there is an event this Sunday. We want to invite the public to come out to. It is American Legion Post 61 Family's annual 4 Chaplains ceremony. It's going to be taking place at 3 p.m. this Sunday at First United Methodist Church there on Pennsylvania.
Oh my, is it this Sunday?
It is this Sunday. It is free to the public. It's going to take about 45 minutes and an hour, and we just want to tell you the story of these 4 chaplains and the role they served on the USS Dorchester and the incidents that happened. The accident has been called I think it's the second worst naval disaster in World War II history, I believe is how they refer to it. But it's not on a lot of people's radars compared to many of the other stories we hear of that. So
we like Indianapolis.
Yes, we like to. So we like to share that with you. And
in theory, there's an advertisement going on.
There is an ad running.
I haven't heard it yet.
You haven't heard it?
No, I tried, but I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, I've heard it.
I may just put it in manually so you can hear it.
Okay.
It exists, I assure you.
I believe it.
But we would love to come out. Doesn't cost anything. Doesn't take but about an hour of your time. All are welcome. Bring the whole family. Come and listen to this story of the 4 chaplains. And hopefully when you leave, we hope you inspire you a little bit and give you a little bit more reason of why this country is what it is and why it's so important that we defend what it is.
Text on the list to remind everybody.
Note to self: we need to have meeting on.
Yeah.
It's at 3, but we should be there by 1:30.
That's right,
because we got to practice.
Well, we're going to show up at 3. We're like, when's this ceremony start?
It started 10 minutes ago.
Right.
But that is coming up this weekend, and we would love to have as many people. Good news is the fine folks at First United Methodist Church let us use their church there, and they've got plenty of room for you to come in and sit and enjoy the ceremony. So we'll be right there in the main chapel. So what else do we want to mention before we start talking a little bit about Greg and his artwork and everything? Deep thought.
Yeah. I'm not quite awake
next month
yet.
is Legion birthday. I know that.
Good
Yes.
deal. Well, if you're looking to become a Legionnaire, I know our next meeting will be here. Is it next week or the week after?
The first.
It's the first
Yeah,
Thursday
so
of
a week
March, whenever
from
that
tomorrow.
is. Yeah, I know February ends like Tuesday, so yeah. So it'll be 1 week from tomorrow, exactly.
Yeah.
But we meet at First United Methodist Church, 6 p.m. That first Thursday of every month is our monthly Legionnaire and auxiliary
And this
Sun
month
meeting.
we're actually doing a joint meeting, so you get to meet all of us at the same time.
Yeah, and if you want to learn about becoming a Legionnaire or a auxiliary member or a son, we invite you to come to the meeting and see what we're all about.
We will be meeting tomorrow too, but that's mostly because they were creating the charity bears.
Yes, well, and just about every Thursday we have a contingent of Legion family members that are there sewing and crafting and making our charity
Which
bears.
we will be needing some more sponsors here soon.
Okay.
Because we just had a request from who? We had a request from somebody.
Good, we're getting
we
requests.
gave some
Love it.
to the Dexter folks, and
Yeah.
I know that Sheriff Harrington is always needing more, and I would like to give some to the PD and the fire department here
Yeah,
in
but
town.
somebody
as well.
else requested a
Okay.
bunch of them. And
So
I
we've
can't
got
remember
people
what it was.
requesting and things, so which means more materials, more sewers,
What we
more
really need
crafters.
is stuffing.
No, we have
Oh, we
lots of
got a lot of
stuffing.
stuff?
We're full of stuffing.
Yeah, we need.
Shoot this guy.
Yeah, stuffing we're good on. It's the felt that we need.
Felt.
Yeah.
Nice.
For bellies.
But we would love to have you come be a part of that. But absolutely, come on to our meeting and meet. To be a Legionnaire, if you served honorably in the United States military, pretty much since Pearl Harbor, since World War, since Pearl Harbor, December 7th, and you served honorably, then you are eligible to become a Legionnaire.
Right.
To be an auxiliary, if you're a spouse of a veteran or
Male or female.
Fellas, you can be an
and
auxiliary
we do
member.
have male members.
We do. We've got. Actually, we could use a couple more. I think he could use a friend.
We need more than window dressing.
Yes.
That's right. Token. We need a real one. But no. If your spouse was a veteran, you're welcome to be part of the auxiliary. Son is it's in the title there. If you are the son of a male descendant of a Legionnaire. But again, your mom could have been the Legionnaire, right? Or you could have been the veteran, and you were the son.
You were a male descendant.
You're a male descendant, so your mom could be the veteran. It doesn't have to be your father, as long as you're the son of a veteran.
Right, and the auxiliary is more than just spouses. I actually joined the auxiliary to honor the service of both of my grandfathers, and then later on, when my sister joined the Navy, I honor her service as well.
Good deal. And that because of your grandparents, that makes you eligible.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah, I did
The
serve.
auxiliary has a much
As an auxiliary member, that's what I mean,
looser requirements than the other branches.
Although lady veterans can join the auxiliary.
Okay.
And they generally do.
Yes.
Sure. But they're also eligible to become a Legionnaire.
Oh, for
as well,
sure.
too.
Yeah.
So
We have
I'm pretty
several dual
sure
members.
your sister is dual, I think.
She is.
I know Robbie's dual.
Mm-hmm.
But we meet once a month, and I can tell you this: the Post 61 family, we operate as yes, we all have our entities, as we have our Legionnaires, we have our Sons, we have our auxiliary. But at the end of the day, we all work towards the same goals, the same events.
Just yesterday, we actually
donated a bunch of stuff to Roswell Refuge.
Right. We actually pooled some of our resources and donated about $200 worth of pajamas and things to the Roswell Refuge for the ladies that need them there.
That's awesome. Roswell Refuge is an amazing organization, and quite frankly, probably wouldn't be able to survive without the generous donations.
We gave
people
them
just doing
turkeys.
stuff like that.
We gave them candy. We gave
all
them
kinds of stuff.
A bunch of stuff.
If you're a business that does services like hair and nails or clothing or makeovers, and you're wanting to give back in some way, reach out to them. That's a thing that really helps, especially when they have folks that are ready to kind of get out and on their feet again and go, get their jobs and secure a place to live and all those things. Sometimes putting them in a new outfit or getting their
usually when
made
they
up.
arrive, they don't have much but what they're wearing. So
it's a godsend. So just think, because all I do is nails and hair. You can help a lot of people in our community by doing stuff like that.
Our male auxiliary member, he works at one of the local groups here, and he does
hair.
He cuts hair.
It's a great help. So please, if reach out to the refuge.
Right.
They'll tell you exactly what they can and can't do. But if you're looking for a place to help, that's a great place to start. Just wanted to throw that out there. So. Any memory lawn updates that we want to tell folks about as far as
I was told that they replaced the flag.
Okay. The garrison flag up there.
I haven't
the POW.
been out there yet.
Okay.
Candy still has the other one that needs to be repaired, but she's in Clovis, so
she's been busy in the last.
I don't know when we'll be able to get to that.
Preoccupied right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
We still haven't got our POWMIA flag straightened out yet. We still got that little 3x5 up.
I thought there was a big one floating around somewhere.
Two of them.
Yeah, it just hadn't been
Neither
put up
one
yet.
of them had been put up.
All right. Well, we'll work on that.
But,
we'll get Greg on it. Greg's
there you
good
go.
at making things happen.
Let's do it. But I've been told that the Disney's sending us some money. So
Disney?
Yeah.
Walt Disney?
Yeah.
Nice.
Whenever that happens. We've been waiting for about 6 months.
All right.
And
maybe it'll come in a little bottle of the ship like the commercials.
That'd be cool.
Dreams will come true.
Well, we're getting to donation season here. We're going to need some more funds. We just supported a bunch of charities and stuff like that. So,
Well's a little dry at the moment.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to bring awareness to the American Legion baseball, and that always requires a little bit of fundage.
I went into the schools with Dawn last week. And we talked to Goddard and Roswell High University and Gateway Christian, trying to get people to participate in our programs.
Okay.
Boys State, Girls State, oratorical, and of course baseball.
Yeah, and the American Legion Boys State is going to be at the end of May.
Okay.
A little bit into June, and then the Girls State is actually going to be from June 11th to the 16th.
Okay.
It's basically a civics course where you go for a week to the...
And you get college credit.
It's true. You get 3 college credits if you complete the course.
It's a great preparatory type thing
It
for
is.
life. I mean,
It's
it could be
a
whether
life-changing activity.
And I remember being in high school and it's like, okay, that's kind of weird. It's a civics thing. Who really cares? But it really does make a difference in your life, and you get a chance to make some friends that can be lifelong friends. It's a wonderful opportunity.
You run for office. They make a legislature. They make a president. I don't know that in New Mexico they do the judiciary. I know in Colorado they were just starting that program a couple years ago. But you actually have to pass bills, and then you learn how things go from committee
it's
to
a great
this. I mean, you learn how government barely functions.
especially when we're living in a world where there seems to be less civics in school and more, it's kind of taking a back burner to other things.
Well, most people have no idea how the process.
You got to know how the sausage is made. If you're complaining about what's going on in D.C., but don't know how they do it in D.C., this is what this is about. And
personally, I'm amazed that anything ever gets done.
So if you're a junior in high school and you want to see how your government works because you're annoyed with how something's functioning and you want to change it, this is a good opportunity to learn how to do that.
Absolutely. Well, where are they located at this year?
Portal.
They're going to be in Portales.
Okay, so just up the road here.
Mm-hmm.
Go up there and hit the taco box or whatever, and then go on to.
And there is a small application that you need to fill out.
Very food oriented.
I'm telling you, man.
Come on, man. I earned this.
I guess I should have brought a box of donuts.
Yeah, see, that would have been good.
Key to my heart's my stomach. That's where I keep it, right there, under lock and key.
So the application you can find online. Just Google Girls State, and I'm sure it'll pop up. And there's a fee. It's $30, but if you do it before March 31st, it's actually $20.
Okay.
Give a discount there.
Behoove you to be on the ball and get it done early. But we'll take your money if you want to be late.
And next week we'll be deciding 2 of our 4 scholarships.
Okay.
So we'll be giving away $5,000 here very shortly.
Okay. And if you want to learn about applying for the next round and things like that,
RoswellLegion.org.
RoswellLegion.org. That is the website for everything that we as the Post 61 family do. So if you want to learn more about our meetings, our who's on it, who's our staff, what events we got coming up, our passion projects, and of course about our scholarships and events coming up, all right there, RoswellLegion.org.
Right. And like I say, we got 4 to give away this year. We're going to give away 2 in the spring here, and we'll give away 2 in the fall. So anytime apply, you'll be put into a queue, and we just need your latest information.
Yeah.
So if you don't make it, hang on.
Try again.
Or update it.
Absolutely.
And you probably get considered for the next round. And every 2 years, you can reapply.
Sure.
Even if you got it, 2 years later, you can apply, and maybe you'll get it again.
If you're the sibling of a veteran or a veteran yourself, and you're really leaning towards STEM-related career fields or first responder service-oriented career fields, and you're going for training for those, these scholarships help towards that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And we consider nurses and firefighters and all those guys too.
All that,
first responders.
It's a broad. You know,
it's a very broad.
We're just trying to give away the money, so apply and give it a shot.
It's a very,
Last year we had a more versatile scholarship. We gave away $1,500. It was donated by Kremlin.
Kremlin, yeah.
And that was $1,500, and that went to a welder.
Nice.
So we had a little bit more flexibility with that.
Well, that's STEM too. I mean, you know how much science and math involved in heating up metal and making it stick to other metal?
Right? But I'm just saying that this is a perpetual thing. So it's free money.
Sure.
So just
absolutely.
apply.
Definitely.
We've got a couple of good ones in there now, but you never know. If you get to me in the next week, maybe you're it.
Maybe you can slide in, make the competition a little more stiff.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Good deal. But again, RoswellLegion.org. And of course, if you want to learn more and talk to a live person, then come out Sunday to our 4th chaplain ceremony. Talk to any of our folks with the Legionnaire hats, and they'll be happy to give you information. Or with the blue vest, they'll be happy about that too. So, all right, let's. We got anything else we want to mention for our Legion side, or do we want to talk a little bit about Greg and what he's got?
Let's talk about the art. I'm looking at it here, and it's beautiful.
So
thank you.
Peel back the curtain a little bit, just kind of see how this. Greg reached out to me a couple weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
And said, and I knew he's an artist because I've follow his Facebook and see all the beautiful work that he does over the years here.
Thank you.
And so he reached out and said, hey, I painted this piece, and if you're watching our video, you can actually see the piece. It's on display here. If you're on the radio, might be a little trickier to do that, but it's a beautiful piece, and I'm going to have Greg talk about it and everything here. But he said, I want to help veterans with this painting. Any suggestions on how to do that? And I said, well, I have no guy, and I put him in touch with Commander Lee here, and we've got we'll tell you here what's going to happen to this painting. But first off, hey, thank you for thinking of us and reaching out and doing this.
Hey, thank you guys.
But
for real.
But let's ask first, what was the inspiration? What was it that you said, A, I want to do this, and B, I want to do this painting?
Well, my daughter and my nephew, they're both serving. They're in the Army.
Okay.
And so it's that of course don't take much.
Sure.
And after going to my daughter's graduation in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And seeing that base over there, I took on, really, with our military people, a totally different perspective.
Sure.
Of just what you guys go through, what you've done, what all of our veterans have served. And, I wish I could give y'all thousands of dollars. I really do. But
I wish you could. I'm just kidding.
Well, we can make arrangements for that if you like.
Just open up the checkbook.
Right.
There you go.
But I understand what you're saying.
But in
you're
the society in which we live, I just can't do that.
Sure.
And so I'm trying to get back
the way you
somewhat.
can give it back.
And I painted this last year. And, it just meant so much to me. And so it was kind of funny because I finished up another painting the other day, and I was like, this one was right behind it.
Gotcha.
And I was like, this thing, instead of collecting dust in my house, it needs to collect dust either at y'all's place, or if y'all decide,
put it in a place
if y'all decide to have an auction with it, whatever y'all decide to do with it, to y'all's best interest.
Well, I will tell you that when I brought it up, most people wanted to keep it.
Because it's something nice and they said, I want it. Yeah.
So we probably won't sell it. It's probably going to go up at the post.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Well, we do appreciate what you're doing. And what I love about it, let me ask, but first bit, so when you painted this, what was your vision? What was tell me the story here.
Okay. I started off in the metal that you see on the outside was actually Wilmington / Fort Fisher.
Okay.
Now
so that's actually the walls of the fort, so to speak.
Well, not the walls.
Okay.
What they would do is that the Confederacy, instead of shooting cannons, where most people think that they launch them over, they would skip them across the water.
Okay.
And
like a rock.
Exactly. And so the Union had 63 ships out in the ocean on the Atlantic side, because Wilmington was the last fort at this point.
Okay.
And Robert E. Lee said that if Wilmington falls, that the Confederacy's done.
Sure.
There's nothing else that he can do. Well, the Confederacy, there was actually the two wars. The first one on Fort Fisher took place in December of 1865. And then in January 15th, 1865 is when they took it.
Okay.
Off of them 63 ships.
Wow.
At that time.
Wow.
And they was rounding out that it was 135 shells a minute.
Woo.
Wow, that's
This
fast.
is in 1865.
I was going to say, this is Civil War.
Dude,
this isn't
that's-
Vietnam. This is a Civil War.
Those are so.
The Gatling gun was in its
question
infancy
is-
at that point.
My question is, there weren't too many helicopters in the Civil War.
Well, see, and that's where I think it gets art, because that's in my head, that's Vietnam. When I see that, the Huey, that's Vietnam era.
I wanted to take most of the prevalent wars, and this one here, most people just didn't know about Fort Fisher.
Yeah.
It's a part of history that was lost. I mean, they want to say Gettysburg.
When you talk about Civil War history, unless they made a movie about it, there's a lot of people that aren't familiar with some of the,
I see signs of World War I.
And so then I just wanted to tie all the other wars into them.
So
All
it's
the way-
actually almost a timeline.
Exactly. All the way down to D-Day, which is the very front with the sand.
So it's kind of like, regardless of the war or the weapon, or whatever it is, it's showing the same mindset of the people that were involved in these conflicts, whether it's the Civil War or Vietnam or World War I or wherever it is.
And just the men that we don't know.
Collage.
That makes sense.
The men that we don't know that was lost.
Sure. See, when I was, and that's kind of like when I see it, when I evoke, because I'm thinking, because this is my Air Force brain, I'm like, that's some kind of aircraft gun wall kind of thing breaking in, and you're really dealing with, like, it's almost like someone that's dealing with PTSD.
Yeah.
And it's almost like this is the image in their head of, and we don't get it because we haven't worn those shoes.
Exactly.
And so to me, when I think that's my interpretation. That's the beauty of art. I mean, Greg painted it, and that's the interpretation, because it's his.
If I read that correctly, it says unknown 1775 to 20.
So it's kind of encompassing the soldier
Now
in the
it
time
makes
of
more sense.
we've been United States of America.
Or 2023.
It makes sense.
And I got the soldiers up there, and I will not pronounce that mountain that they summited to hang the flag there at
Iwo
Iwo Jima.
Jima. I just caught that. That's Iwo Jima. I just now caught that right there with
Mount
the flag.
Suribachi.
See, I keep looking at it and catching different
See,
things.
don't pronounce it.
I just caught that. Oh, yeah, there's Iwo Jima. I just missed that. Dang.
And then I've got the two soldiers that on the sides there that are ghosted in.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm guessing, is that a Chinook there or something there? It's more of a like Desert Storm era helicopter.
Desert Storm.
Yeah, in the helicopter. I can't tell exactly what that is.
There's a lot to this painting. It's
Yeah,
very,
I'm still catching things literally as I'm
the only
staring
thing
at
I
it.
don't see is a tank.
No,
Everything
but
else.
you got the tanks, but they're really silhouetted because the light's
that's
coming
what
in.
those are.
Well, my head is you're
The
looking
one
at
is
a
the
tank.
truck on one side, and then there's a tank on the other
In
side.
my head, I can
okay.
pretend I'm looking out the tank hole that someone shot.
My eyes are terrible. So,
But no, and I was like, so then I contacted you,
Yeah.
and because I was like, I was trying to get in up in Albuquerque, but I'm going to be donating a painting up there, which is the Gettysburg of New Mexico.
Oh.
Which was the battle at, yeah, I knew I was going to forget it. I've done
There's like two
paintings.
There's two Civil War battles that kind of call New Mexico home, and I can't remember the name of either one of them right now. But
and I just painted the thing.
Yeah.
It's just because you're on the spot. You'll remember
Right.
when you
It
leave.
stinks getting old. This is what happens when you get old. You forget things.
is that what happens? I don't know. I'm
I
not old
forgot.
yet.
What do you mean I'm old?
But this is up there at Pigeons Ranch, and that one there is going to go to the Historic Society.
Oh, cool.
Up there.
Oh, cool.
Because that was a 3-day battle. And, you know, this is when Texas invaded New Mexico.
Huh?
Is it Messia?
No.
No.
Sibley?
No.
Glorieta Pass?
Glorieta Pass.
Glorieta Pass.
Yeah.
Thank you. As soon as you said it, that's what I was thinking of. I kept wanting to say something Valley, not Pass. That was not in my
Palo
head.
Verde?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are it. Thank you.
And, you know, which there again, that ties into history of Billy the Kid, because you got the Laszlowski
Who were you
place.
donating to up there?
The Historic Society in Santa Fe.
Nice.
Very nice.
So I'm curious. Are you a historian first or an artist first? If you had to pick, what would you kind of label yourself as?
I don't know, man. They're both right there.
Right.
But history.
History.
Well,
the history's inspiring your art.
Yeah, big time.
Like I'm kind of curious. Like, without the history, would you be doing the art still? Like, would you find another avenue or thing or subject to kind of chronicle too?
I probably would.
Now, and here's another question. I'm getting all over the place. Sorry.
No problem.
Is your art strictly all history, or do you go and say, you know what, I just want to paint some mountains or Bob? So I know we're evoking the Bob Ross name here, but I just want to paint a lake and some mountains and some happy trees.
I do that too. Actually, I gave one to Sean this morning.
He did, and he gave
it's
me a
Celtic
beautiful
scene.
painting, which I haven't even mentioned and thanked publicly yet. It's a beautiful. It's about but basically the history of buffalo hunting.
Yes.
In by natives in New Mexico.
Yes, sir.
And
this is the buffalo jump, and it's the only one in New Mexico, and it's up by Gallup, and they would use mesas to jump the buffaloes off.
Here, I'm kind of trying to so people can see it.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
I'll just hide behind it.
There we go. But that's the painting we're talking about here. So very cool.
And since people don't do buffalo jumps anymore, I mean that's a history that's gone.
That we know of.
That we know of.
Right.
That we know of. But no, I painted. I donated the alien Zia that's sitting over here. The first interactive painting of its kind.
Yes, with the beautiful one Sean displayed before we had everyone come on here that Greg had given Sean. There you go. Yeah, they can get a look at it. I don't want to hide the other one either. So.
And so yeah, I paint everything. I mean,
I would imagine it's because I've said it 100 times. I do radio. This is my psychiatrist.
Right.
Sometimes I imagine that's your psychiatrist too. It's like, all right, when the world stinks, I'm going in the back room and paint.
And that is exactly why I've got over 400 paintings right now.
It's been a rough couple of years.
One era that I don't see a lot of is like the Barbary Wars, the Barbary Coast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stuff, which really was the start of our Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
1775, 1776, we were contracted by, what was it?
Was it France or Spain or
No,
somebody?
it was It was Thomas Jefferson was the one that sent them out there. And that's really what kind of started everything.
Yeah, because they were being overrun by all the pirates and things, so they needed some help.
Coast, yeah. And that's really what started the Marines.
The Marines of the Caribbean. You haven't seen that movie yet.
Yeah. But I've got a painting. I've got it all drawn out.
Awesome.
Of the Barbary Coast.
You do have one.
So in the works.
It's in the works.
In the works.
There you go.
You may like it better than this one, and I would like to donate again.
So let me ask you this. I mean, do you pay the bills with this stuff? I mean, can people buy your artwork and things like that? Or
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do sales with it.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Can people commission you if they want artwork done too? If there's,
Yes, sir.
I want a picture of my horse or something.
Most of my stuff is on New Mexico Art on Facebook.
So
give
out your Facebook page and give out some. Let's give you a little bit of shine
Greg
here.
Birch on Facebook or New Mexico Art on Facebook.
See, we can get a couple commissioned paintings, put you to work on some
Now,
paintings.
the thing
and get
is
you paid.
that people's wanting me to have a studio. So, here in Roswell.
Sure.
Now, you're saying pay the bills. That pays the bills.
Gotcha.
Is it going to pay the rent?
That's
a
another
different
question. But I would just love to, have an opportunity for people to get your artwork if you want it. That's what I want to,
I've had people that came in from Hawaii that I've gotten to visit. I've gotten to visit numerous fans.
Okay.
That are just. That's what's humbling about the whole deal. I mean, it really is, and to hear their stories.
Sure.
And
how long did it take you to paint that?
Yeah, how many hours are involved in that?
Well, right now I've got some personal issues, but usually I can whip these things out 1 to 2 a week. No problem.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
No problem. There's just ideas that.
So now I'm curious, did you envision this before, or did it evolve into this? Like when you started putting pen on the canvas, you're like, did you envision this, or you envisioned something and it got to this?
Actually, I was watching a cheesy movie. Sorry,
Okay.
Platoon.
Okay.
In the opening, where they're out there, hit it off.
That's kind of was like,
and I was like,
I imagine it's like songwriting. Sometimes it worked for it, and other times it hits you like a ton of bricks and just comes out flowing.
You will not know. My daughters and my wife, they have watched Grease so many times that you won't even believe the drive-in movie with the Grease car. I'm sure that you saw the painting on Facebook.
Yeah.
From that.
That's your inspiration. How cool is that?
And I was like, good grief. Come on now.
Don't tell my wife that's her favorite movie of all time is Grease. And I too have seen it more times than I care to because of my
right.
I figured it'd be Young Guns because Bon Jovi did the whole sign.
She's a fan of Young Guns too, but it's not Grease. Grease is the one seed.
Oh boy,
you can't beat the whole all the songs.
See, and I don't know that I've ever seen Grease. So I must be missing out on something.
Oh my God!
Well, you're not missing much. In my book.
Yeah, it's
John Travolta. Come on.
Oh, well, then of course I'm
for what
missing
it is.
out.
How exciting could that be?
John Travolta.
It's just it's a musical for people that don't like musicals.
Oh, okay.
Like if you don't like musicals, but it's got enough story, and it's like, all right, now I have to deal with all the stupid singing.
Yeah.
But
I just watched a musical like last year that wasn't too bad. It was on P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
Oh, the one with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was
The
actually
Showman,
pretty
I think is what it's called. I
Greatest
saw
show on earth.
That's what it is. I saw the trailer. I just never sat down and watched
Yeah,
it.
it's
That
worth a
wasn't
watch.
too bad.
Yeah.
And John Travolta wasn't in it, so it was good.
Oh my goodness.
And one other little thing about this
Yes.
painting that I forgot to tell y'all. The Confederates, Jefferson Davis, they was inside of Wilmington there. There was, it's the only port on the eastern side that you can go in to Cape Fear, which is a river, or exit out of it. And so they had these blockade runners. And these blockade runners were British ships
Really?
that was supplying the
Well, they're trying to get
Confederacy.
paid too, so yeah, it's behoove him to block
And then-
to run it. Yeah.
Bolus's command got moved to Oak Island. And so they were shipping out of Oak Island
Oh, yeah, his wife watches
into
that one.
Wilmington, which was the tobacco supplies
Gotcha.
and things like that. Sorry.
Interesting. Which kind of like you're talking about the documentary on about Oak Island.
Yeah.
A lot of the
That's
history which he's talking about is begat what that show gets.
And this was in 1865.
Well, and that show, the show she's talking about, is on History Channel, and it's actually a bunch of archaeologists, diggers, looking for gold and things,
tearing up the land.
But there's all there's all kinds of stories and things from what you're
they
speaking
find all
of.
different kinds of
and
artifacts.
so, I mean, everything from paranormal to historical. So it gets all over the place.
Yeah.
Right.
Begat. That's a cockamamie word.
I love those words. I say a lot of
then
cockamamie
tomorrow
words.
night, I guess we'll I'll donate it to you guys
thank you
tomorrow
so much.
night.
Okay.
Good deal.
At the First
at the
Presbyterian
meeting
Church.
there tomorrow.
Yes.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much for thinking of us.
Thank you
you for
guys.
doing that. And anytime you want to come on, pop in and talk about some new artwork or something that you got going on, or if you decide to send it. Hey, I'm going to do an art show one day, and I would love to invite people to come out and check it
Now,
out.
there's an idea.
I'd love to have you come on and promote it to talk
And you
about
said that your daughter and who else was in the military?
Nephew.
Okay.
In the Army.
Very nice.
Army. Well,
Really?
we'll joke. We're all Air Force, so we are. And so we're used to being the butt of everybody else's jokes. We like to dish it out just as much.
What are you talking about? We're in command and control.
That's
There
right.
you go. There you go.
Well, they used to tell us like chair force, like that offends me. I'm like,
I was in the chair force.
now, what is
I
that?
sat in chairs.
that's just what they call Air
all
Force
the
people.
time.
Chair force. It's kind of a joke. Where other branches Marines are generally stupid. That's kind of the run with it.
They're jarheads.
Yes. Navy, they're weird. They're just different altogether. Army guys, they
eat dirt and live in tents.
Not smart enough to get in the Air Force, basically, and that's the way we look at it. And Air Force is there.
See,
Now,
you got to understand that we came out of the Army, but in
Yes.
1947 they came down, and anybody that could read and write, they put them into the Air Force. That's how that works.
Exactly. Right.
And
on,
Curtis
exactly.
LeMay came along and said, "Hey, do you have at least a 9th grade education?" Yes.
Yeah.
So that's how the Air Force.
And the Marines are like, we can't leave them to their own device. Navy, do you watch these guys?
They eat crayons.
Yeah, the ribbing is pretty interesting when you get a bunch of military guys together.
Well, at least y'all can rub each other
And
real
then,
hard.
and then some of the ribbing we can't share on the radio because it is not family friendly.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Most of the Navy jokes
Really?
are that way. Most of our Navy jokes get in that area.
Don't you want to spend your whole life at sea with all of your closest male friends?
That's right.
Yeah.
In an area this big. Yeah. No thanks. But that's our thing. But it's kind of there's a meme that always floats around on social media that I like, and it's a shot from Goodfellas. If you ever
Now,
seen-
where was your basic training?
I did San Antonio, Lackland Air Force Base. That's where I went and
That's
got
the
basic
only
training.
place they train Air Force now.
Yeah.
There was one other years ago, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah. Down there, San Antonio, down there. That's where I was, which is a huge base and a huge.
Well,
And what year was that?
I was there in the 90s, so it was 96.
And you?
I was later.
Earlier than that.
He's a little
okay.
older than me.
In fact, I just turned 56 last week.
He's not that old. He's got me by 6 years. I'll be 50 next month.
Really?
So yeah. So he's got
Well,
me
I
by a
got you by
couple.
one.
Really? So yeah, I feel 80, but I'll be 50 next month.
No, I went to basic training on D-Day 1986.
I went
Wow.
on Christmas Day. I shipped out Christmas Day.
And I was a weekend rainbow.
Yeah.
I bet your parents took that hard.
Well, and it was no. Well, no, they were ready to get rid of me.
It was a done deal.
They were like, "Don't let the door hit you, with the good Lord split you. We'll see you later." No.
Find another place.
Lizzie has mentioned that we do need fabric.
Okay,
Yes.
so if people would like to donate fabric
Yeah,
and
she's
things,
our fabric
hey,
fundraising chair.
go check out the new Calico Cow's new home and pick up a couple
Yes.
spindles and bring
That's
it
right,
on
they
by.
took over So Easy So.
Yeah, they now that's their new
Yeah.
home there. I think they're officially open now. There,
We drove by there the
Yeah, I
other
think
day. I
they're
didn't see a sign that said Calico Cow, but it said it was open.
I feel like
Yeah.
they
They're
just
having
opened.
their grand opening. I think it was on the 20th. Of
Yeah,
this
we do
month.
have a March. They're having the
Buildings.
full bells and whistle grand opening. We'll be
Oh,
there.
nice.
So they had a soft opening.
Sure.
Oh,
But I
nice.
think they're actually open now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
soft
Anyway.
opening. It's fabric. It makes sense.
Yeah. We better go because I just saw the time.
Okay.
I'm going to be cutting into Travis and Sexton time.
Oh,
if I
no,
don't,
don't do that.
But if you have any questions about anything, Again,
RoswellLegion.org.
Absolutely. Or come out tomorrow night to First United Methodist Church or next Thursday night. It's about 6 p.m. We're all going to be gathering there. Just knock on the door if the door's not locked.
575-268-0220.
Be careful. If you get there too early, they might drag you into Zumba. So if you're not looking to...
Zumba's downstairs.
Yeah, we're upstairs.
So I'm just saying,
if you're quick and sneak into the elevator.
If you're like, no, I eat food. Thank you. Then you go.
Although we might stick a pen in your hand and you might have to trace out stuff.
There you go.
Right on.
That'd be good.
There you go. And then, Greg, one more time, give out your website for folks to check out.
Greg Birch on Facebook, or you can go to New Mexico Art on Facebook.
Yeah, and then come and thank you.
You'll see all my art.
Thank you for thinking of us. Thank you for keeping me from getting fired and listening to the show. Appreciate that.
The public, I've got a painting that I donated over here to the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh,
it's
nice.
hanging the first house in Roswell.
Oh, cool.
And then last year I donated to the Historic Society.
Nice.
To hopefully get back on their feet after get back on the feet after the COVID. And they've done a donation on that or an auction.
Cool.
Everybody, if we have more people like that,
you were going to donate it tomorrow night, not during the regular meeting.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
If that was good.
No, that
we'll make
works
it happen
for us.
So.
Just perfect.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Greg, as always, and we'll see you guys here
Thank you, gentlemen.
real soon.
Appreciate
We'll
it.
see you. I'll probably see you Sunday. That's when I'll see you guys
probably.
with bells on.
Okay.
And whistles.
No, don't wear any bells. We have a bell.
We got a bell.
Designated bell.
I can't wear it. It's too heavy. All right, it is 9:59. Quick break before we get kicked off the radio. Don't go away.
Roswell Skin Center, a brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the 400 Penn Plaza building here in Roswell, is now accepting new patients. Dr. Brandon Cometti and his team offer a full range of skin care services, including general dermatology, surgical and cosmetic procedures, including cutting-edge laser rejuvenation, Botox, filler, laser hair removal, chemical peels, and other non-invasive options to improve skin health and turn back the hands of time. Call and schedule your appointment at Roswell Skin Center today, 208-2509. That's 208-2509. Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
Joe Wilson, who works at a Denny's in Fargo, confirms this is indeed a cold day. States in the northern plains largely shutting down ahead of a massive winter storm that could dump up to 2 feet of snow in some areas, accompanied by strong winds and dangerously cold temperatures. National Weather Service meteorologist Frank Pereira.
Across a good portion of the northern plains, we're going to be looking at temperatures that are going to be in the single digits to sub-zero temperatures across some portions of the areas, which would be record lows for those parts of the area.
Many schools throughout the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin